Welcome to the fantasy audiobook. My school has mutated and can be automatically upgraded. Chapter 81. After hearing the sound, the reporters immediately became alert. Then start looking for a target. Yi Feng and Director Guo came to the door of the administrative building. Don't look at it, just leave. Director Guo said to the students surrounding the door. The director has spoken, and the students dare not wait any longer. However, it didn't go very far. Yi Feng and Director Guo entered the lobby on the first floor. After seeing Yi Feng, the reporters immediately surrounded him. All the cameras are on Yi Feng. Principal Yi, do you know anything about the internet? Principal Yi, have you thought about the consequences of what you said in the hospital? President Yi, Mond University has not responded for 3 days, is it a guilty conscience like what I said on the internet? Principal Yi, can you reveal the progress of Mond's research? The reporters threw question after question. Every question is asked at the key point. Yi Feng did not rush to answer the reporter's question. Not even the slightest sign of urgency. Reporters, don't worry, our principal will definitely answer your questions. Today our school is going to hold a press conference, and you are welcome to attend. Yi Feng didn't speak, but Director Guo spoke up. On the way to the administrative building, Yi Feng had already explained it. Now is the time for Director Guo to come out. Hearing these words, the reporters fell silent. Of course it would be best if a press conference could be held. They are happy to see it happen. Soon, everyone came to a small conference hall in the administration building. It can accommodate hundreds of people here, which is very suitable. As soon as they got here, the reporters turned on their equipment. The reporters of the TV station even started the live broadcast directly. A lot of people are paying attention to this news. There are even leaders of relevant departments watching here. This press conference is very important. The TV station is also a program specially opened for the press conference. As soon as the live show started, the number of viewers continued to increase. Before long, all the preparations were done. At this time, Yi Feng walked in. All reporters sat up straight and were always ready to ask questions. Yi Feng stepped onto the stage in front of the conference hall. I know you have a lot of questions to ask, but before answering the questions, I have one thing to announce. Standing on the stage, Yi Feng said to all the reporters. Hearing Yi Feng's words, all the reporters were stunned. Isn't it a press conference? How did it become the same as a press conference? However, everyone did not speak, waiting for Yi Feng to announce. Just now, news came from our school's research team that the cancer medicine has been successfully researched. Yi Feng looked at everyone and said solemnly. Hearing this sentence, all the reporters felt a bang in their heads. Before they asked the question, Yi Feng directly gave them a blast. Is the cancer cure really successful? Not only them, but even the viewers watching the live broadcast of the show were blinded. What they originally wanted to see was how Mond University was so wrong, how to repent. I didn't see what I wanted to see now, but heard an incredible message. This is a special cancer drug, so successful so quickly. Hearing this information, everyone's first thought was that they didn't believe it. They felt it must be a distraction from Mond University. When things are over, what to say is just a preliminary success. Word games, the audience saw more. As long as they don't see the facts, they certainly won't believe it. In the conference hall, Yi Feng saw everyone's expressions, and a smile appeared on his face. This is what he wants. He was not prepared to answer reporters' questions from the start. There is no need to answer either. In fact, all the problems are because of the cancer cure. It is also because of this that the University of Mond is targeted on the internet. As long as Mond's research succeeds, everyone has nothing to say. Sure enough, the reporters were also stunned. The questions they started to prepare are now out of the question. How to ask? Ask Yi Feng, has he considered the consequences of speaking in the hospital? What are the consequences of this? As long as the research is successful, everything is settled. Then again, who cares about these things now? Cancer medicine is the most important thing right now. If this is true, it would be world-shocking news. That's what really matters. Those fishing reels in the past are not worth mentioning at all. Principal Yi, you said that the research was successful, you can show it to us. A reporter couldn't wait to stand up and ask. They are now trying to prove that this is true. This is the crux of the matter, and what everyone is most concerned about. I know that everyone wants to see whether the special medicine is true or not, and today I will prove it to you with facts. Yi Feng said to everyone. Hearing this sentence, everyone became serious. At this moment, the screen in the conference hall lit up. A piece of data appears on the screen. This data is the experimental results of cancer-specific drugs. Yi Feng wants to do this without having to do it himself. Paimon can save him a lot of things. After seeing the data, the reporters' lens shifted to the screen. They may not understand, but take a picture and talk about it. These are all evidence. The data that everyone is seeing now is the experimental data of cancer-specific drugs. It can be seen from the data Li Jiao that this drug has a very good effect on cancer cells. After speaking, he also zoomed in on the screen. This is to make it clear. The reporters don't understand, but there are people in front of the screen who understand. Zunyang Medical Research Institute. An old man in his 60s with presbyopia eyes stared at the screen in front of him. The old man's name is Chen Zuolin, and he is Qing, the most authoritative professor at the Zunyang Medical Research Institute. And he's been fighting cancer for at least a decade. Just to be able to overcome this difficulty one day. It just hasn't been successful. But now he saw hope. What he is looking at now is the experimental data sent by Yi Feng. Others can't read it, but he can. After reading it, Chen Zuolin's hands trembled. Really successful. Chen Zuolin looked at the screen very excitedly. If this experimental data is true, it will have a very large effect on the treatment of cancer. This made Chen Zuolin couldn't help it. He had to see this cancer medicine with his own eyes. So he immediately packed up and left the institute. Professor Chen, are you going out? A researcher saw Chen Zuolin's anxious appearance, so he asked curiously. I went to Mond University. After finishing speaking, Chen Zuolin had already gone out. Hearing his answer, the researchers were very puzzled. What are you doing in such a hurry to go to Mond University? Not only Chen Zuolin, but all the medical researchers in Zunyang are on their way to Mond University. Cancer medicine is not a person's expectation, but the yearning of the entire medical community. Many people have worked hard for this, but no one has succeeded. Unexpectedly, he actually appeared in a university. Everyone wanted to witness the birth of this drug. Pen's house. At this time, their family was sitting around in front of the TV. For the situation of Mond University, their family has been paying attention. Finally got news today. When they heard Yi Feng announce the news, the whole family was overjoyed. Brother, your illness is saved. Peng Lin's sister said with red eyes. Ever since she found out that Peng Lin was ill, she was very sad. Especially when I think that my elder brother who has loved me since childhood may leave me at any time, my heart is even more painful. Now there is finally hope. I've always believed that our school can do it. Peng Lin's eyes were red. Although he firmly believed in his heart that the principal would not lie to himself, he was also very fearful in the face of death. It's just that in front of his family, he can only realize it very casually. I just don't want to worry my family. Now that he knew that he would get better soon, the worries in his heart were finally put down. This feeling of being resurrected from the dead made him cry. Peng Lin's parents did not speak by the side. Their hearts are still hanging. Every day is the first suffering for them. Now I can finally let go. At this moment, Peng Lin's cell phone rang. But it is a local unknown number. Hello, may I ask who you are? Peng Lin answered the phone and asked. Hello, Peng Lin, I'm Dean Zhou of the Medical School of Mond University. The school's research on special cancer drugs has been successful. Would you like to go back to school for treatment? Dean Zhou's voice came from the phone. Yes, thank Dean Zhou. Hearing the voice coming from the opposite side, Peng Lin was very excited. This is what he was waiting for. Well, the school is busy today, and you will come to school tomorrow. Dean Zhou told Peng Lin for a while. Okay, I get it. After speaking, the two ended the call. After putting down the phone, a smile appeared on Peng Lin's face. Family members next to him have heard what was on the phone. The whole family was very excited. This time I was completely relieved. Mond University. The press conference is still going on. However, it was Yi Feng who was talking now, and the reporters couldn't get in. It's all medical terminology. How do journalists know about this? But generally speaking, they understood. This cancer medicine has a very good effect on cancer. And there are no side effects. Even if you are not sick, it is fine to eat. It will also enhance your immunity. It can be said that this is a major breakthrough in the medical field. Before long, the press conference was over. Every reporter filmed a whole bunch of stuff. This made the reporters very happy. It can be said to be fully loaded. However, they seem to have forgotten the original intention of coming to Mond University. It was originally to inquire about the crime, but now it has become a publicity for Mond University. In fact, it doesn't matter, as long as there are news reports. Soon, the reporters all left. The bustling Mond University was quiet. But before Yi Feng returned to his office, something happened. Suddenly many well-known medical researchers came to the school. The purpose is to see Mond's cancer cure. Yi Feng was too lazy to take care of these matters, so he left it to Dean Zhou to deal with it. After all, they are all people in the medical industry, and they are familiar with each other. After receiving the news, Dean Zhou hurried to the school gate to receive him. When Dean Zhou came to the school gate, he saw dozens of medical workers walking in. Soon, he recognized the old man walking in the front. So hurry up, Professor Chen, you are here too. Dean Zhou said to Chen Zuolin politely. Chen Zuolin is an old professor, and many people in the medical field are his disciples. And he has made great contributions to the medical community of Longguo. Dean Zhou should naturally respect him. Are you Xiao Zhou? Chen Zuolin still had some impressions of Dean Zhou. It's me, you still remember. Dean Zhou said excitedly. It is an honor to be remembered by such an old expert. Xiao Zhou, is the special cancer drug really researched by your school? Which experts are involved? Chen Zuolin has been looking forward to the special cancer drug. Professor Chen, it was indeed researched by our school. However, there are no experts, they are all teachers and students in our school. Dean Zhou said with a smile. Speaking of this, he was very happy. After all, he was the leader of the research group. No experts, just teachers and students. Hearing this answer, the medical researchers next to him were stunned. Many people have been involved in cancer research. There is even a medical research institute that spends a lot of money to invite 100 well-known experts across the country, but they have not had much success. Now it has been researched by a team of teachers and students from a second-rate university. This made the coming experts feel a little hot on their faces. Dean Zhou saw everyone's performance in his eyes, but he just smiled and didn't say anything. Afterwards, he took the experts to the medical laboratory. Good, good. This medicine will surely benefit all mankind. In the medical laboratory, Chen Zuolin was very excited when he saw the complete experimental testing process. Before he came, he still couldn't believe it. After all, this thing is so incredible. Drugs for the treatment of cancer have been researched many years ago. But that team has never been successful, which shows its difficulty. If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes, I wouldn't have believed it. Now Chen Zuolin believes it. It was precisely because of this that he was so excited. He knows better than anyone how effective cancer drugs can be. This time, it will not only be domestic, but even the world's medical community will be shocked. Xiao Zhou, can you tell me about the whole research process? If it's privacy, it goes without saying. Chen Zuolin asked excitedly. However, he still knew where to ask and where not to ask. Dean Zhou also knew this in his heart. So he briefly talked about the research process. Some important details simply ignore the past. Chen Zuolin was very excited when he started listening. But after hearing it, I found the problem. It's not that the research is wrong. Research is perfect, but it's just too perfect, and some don't look like research. Everyone knows that there will be difficulties along the way. It is even possible to get the research direction wrong. This is possible in research. However, the Mond University research on cancer-specific drugs went very smoothly throughout the whole process. As if it should be. It's not like research at all, it's more like production. That's right, it is the production of cancer-specific drugs. Xiao Zhou, do you already have a lot of research materials before you do your research? Chen Zuolin asked curiously. Professor Chen, you are indeed an old expert, you found the key to the problem at a glance. This special cancer drug is the patent of our principal, and we just study it according to the prescription. Dean Joe explained with a smile. He was very clear in his heart why he could study it. Your principal. Which medical expert is your principal? It's so talented. Professor Chen was a little surprised. At the same time, he became curious about the president of Mond University. But what he was curious about was which expert principal Mond was. To be able to have such an ability, must be very famous in the medical field. As long as he is famous, he knows it. Our principal is no expert and has never even attended university. However, it is true that our principal has. He also developed quantum chip technology some time ago. Dean Joe said proudly. In fact, when Yifeng took over the school last year, the teachers still had some opinions. After all, Yifeng is too young and not educated enough. Not sure if the school can be managed well. There was a tendency for the school to decline last year because the teachers did not have the motivation to work hard. But now it's different, they see the headmaster's ability. The whole school is well managed and everyone can see it. There are no teachers in the whole school who do not admire the principal. Young and never attended college. To be able to develop so many technologies, there must be a lot of effort behind it. This is what makes the teachers the most important. Not an expert, didn't go to college, did research on chips. Chen Zuolin was very surprised. According to Dean Joe's description, Mond's principal should not be someone from the medical field. How could such a person be able to develop a cancer cure? But that's how it happened. Chen Zuolin was even more curious about the principal. Dean Joe only smiled when he saw Professor Chen so surprised. In his opinion, this is normal. If Professor Chen saw the principal, he would be even more surprised. Professor Chen, tomorrow we will treat a student. I wonder if you are interested in participating. Dean Joe invited Chen Zuolin. He has made an appointment with Peng Lin to start treatment tomorrow. This is also the first time a cancer patient has been treated with a specific drug. Dean Joe invited Chen Zuolin to participate because he wanted to have an expert witness. This can do more publicity for cancer-specific drugs and increase more credibility. Really, I'll join. Professor Chen is very dedicated to medical research. Now he is participating in a treatment with a special cancer drug, of course he will not refuse. Welcome Professor Chen to join us. Dean Joe said very happily. With the participation of senior experts, the treatment will definitely be smoother. As for other experts, he did not invite them. One is enough. Soon, the expert visit came to an end. All the experts go back. Dean Joe has made an appointment with Chen Zuolin and will come back tomorrow. Today's business is over, but the internet is hot again. However, this time the situation has completely changed. There was no one who had boycotted Mond University. Everyone is talking about the cancer cure. Mond University has really developed a cure for cancer. So fast. This matter can't be faked. It was announced live on TV. I watched live on TV, and the principal of Mond announced the experimental data himself. Although I watched the live broadcast, I still have some doubts, and it is not really cured. I always feel that this research is too simple, and it will not be the University of Mond to change the topic. The news of Mond University's announcement of a special cancer drug has spread. However, many are in a state of skepticism. After all, there are no real cases of treatment. The data on paper is not as good as the real cure. When netizens were discussing the truth and falsehood, the experts who went to Mond University today stood up. They all posted proofs on their Weibo. It has been proved that the special cancer drug does indeed have the effect of treating cancer. And there are no side effects. With these expert proofs, the credibility has increased a lot. But that's not enough. So the official website of Mond University announced a message. Mond University will treat cancer patients tomorrow and invite Professor Chen Zuolin to participate. At the same time, the implementation of the announcement of the treatment progress. As soon as the news was announced, everyone looked forward to it. Especially those with cancer. The next day, Peng Lin's family came to Mond University early. After receiving the news yesterday, they were happy all night. I left for school this morning. Brother, your school is so beautiful, I will also be admitted to this university in the future. Peng Lin's sister looked at the environment in Mond University in surprise. This was her first time here, and she fell in love with it instantly. Then you have to work hard, our school is not so easy to test. Peng Lin said with a smile. He was admitted to Mond University with very high marks. And at that time, Mond University was not well known. The present Mond University is not comparable to what it used to be. It is definitely more difficult to get admitted. 46-0. Brother, don't worry, I will definitely work hard. Peng Lin's sister said very seriously. After speaking, they walked towards the school's medical laboratory. I made an appointment with Dean Zhou yesterday. At this time, in the medical laboratory. Chen Zuolin has come here ahead of time. Professor Chen, a student with cancer in our school will be here soon, please wait a moment. Dean Zhou is wearing a white coat and has already begun to prepare. Today is very important and there can be no mistakes. Xiao Zhou, I'm fine, just wait a while. When Chen Zuolin came today, he made a lot of preparations. For many years, I have never been so excited as today. It doesn't matter if you wait a little longer. Not long after, the Peng Lin family came. Dean Zhou and Chen Zuolin came out of the laboratory. Peng Lin, I am the dean of the medical school, and this is the expert Professor Chen. We will treat you this time. Dean Zhou explained the situation to Peng Lin. Dean Zhou, Professor Chen, thank you. Peng Lin said very gratefully. His family was also very excited. Unexpectedly, there was another expert professor who treated Peng Lin this time. This is better than being treated in a hospital. How could Peng Lin's family be unhappy? Peng Lin has one thing that needs your consent. Because you are the first to use a specific drug to treat a disease, we need to announce the progress of the treatment. Dean Zhou made it clear to Peng Lin. After all, it's about patient privacy. Okay, I will try my best to cooperate with the school's treatment. Peng Lin knew that the school had its own work to do. He is also willing to help the school. Dean Zhou was also very happy to see Peng Lin's cooperation so much. You are Peng Lin's family, right? In the next 3 days, Peng Lin will receive treatment at the school, and it may be inconvenient for you to meet sometimes. So, please go home and wait for the news. You can rest assured that we will announce the progress of the treatment on the internet every day. Dean Zhou told Peng Lin's family. Well, let's go home and wait for news. Father Peng was a little reluctant to bear his son, but because of his son's illness, they had to go back first. Then again, it's at school, so it won't be a problem. Afterwards, Peng Lin's family left. Only Peng Lin was left. At this time, Dean Zhou gathered the members of the treatment team together. For this treatment, Mond University set up a treatment team. All were selected as outstanding members of the research group. Okay, from now on, we will officially start the first treatment of special cancer drugs. Dean Zhou announced. So the treatment team officially began the first special drug treatment. Professor Chen, we need to give Peng Lin a full body check to determine his physical condition. Dean Zhou suggested to Professor Chen. It should be, and the condition should be publicized so that everyone knows the situation from the beginning. Professor Chen's experience is very rich. It is also more comprehensive. This is what it should be, and it's still what Dean Zhou thought comprehensively. Dean Zhou thinks it makes sense. Subsequently, the treatment team began to conduct a comprehensive examination of Peng Lin. The equipment in the laboratory is very comprehensive. There are also equipment for inspection, and they are all state-of-the-art. Soon, the inspection results came out. 0. Dean Zhou and Professor Chen analyzed the inspection results together. Alas, this child's condition is a bit serious, and he is already in the advanced stage of liver cancer at such a young age. After seeing the test results, Professor Chen sighed. Although he often sees cancer patients, it always makes him feel very uncomfortable. Because he knew that at this level, it was basically impossible to cure. As a doctor, you can't save patients. Every time it adds a sense of guilt to Professor Chen. That's what motivates him to conquer cancer. President Zhou, it's already late, is the special medicine still useful? Professor Chen looked at Dean Zhou worriedly. He didn't know much about the special medicines. I don't know what effect can be achieved. So it worries him a bit. The nature of cancer has completely changed in its advanced stages. Ordinary methods simply won't cure it. Professor Chen, according to the nature of the special medicine, as long as it is cancer, it can be cured. Dean Zhou said very confidently. Yifeng once explained it to him. Cancer cures are cancer killers. Cancer patients, as long as they are not dead, have effects. And whether it is liver cancer, stomach cancer, as long as it is cancer, it has an effect. Although he has not seen it with his own eyes, Dean Zhou believes in Yifeng. Now that you're sure, let's start planning for treatment. Although Professor Chen was worried, he could only choose to trust Dean Zhou now. And he has seen the pharmacological properties of the special medicine. Even if it is not cured, there will be no harm. After discussion with the treatment team, a treatment plan was quickly determined. So he started to take Peng Lin's medicine on the first day. During the treatment, Peng Lin's condition was also announced on the internet. Dean Zhou directly sent the inspection report to the official website of Mond University. This will give you the most intuitive understanding of the situation. Some netizens who were waiting for the news soon saw it. Seeing the contents of the inspection report, everyone began to worry. This is the advanced stage of liver cancer. It can already be said to be terminally ill. Can it really be cured? There is a lot of interest in this treatment. Many of them are cancer patients or their family members. They spend every day suffering in pain. If you have money at home, you may be able to go to a big hospital for treatment. But only for a while. People with advanced cancer can only fight for it. If you can fight for one day, you can live another day. But only in pain. How many families are dying because of cancer? I don't know how many families have been destroyed by cancer. Now, they finally see hope. This is the hope of life and the hope of the family. Therefore, this treatment effect is very important. Especially those terminal patients who have been sentenced to death have more expectations in their hearts. Mond University. Yifeng has been paying attention to the treatment. I was relieved to see that the treatment had started. Yifeng was very satisfied with Dean Zhou's invitation to Professor Chen to participate in the treatment. There is an expert to join, and the credibility is higher. And the decision to announce the progress of the treatment on the internet made Yifeng very surprised. This idea is really good. It can make more people understand the effect of cancer special drugs. As for choosing late-stage cancer for the first treatment, Yifeng didn't take it to heart at all. Because he is very aware of the effect of the medicine. There is no difference between late and early. It's just that the treatment takes longer. If the early patients can take the medicine for 1 day, then the advanced patients should take 5 days. Whether it's 1 day or 5 days, for cancer patients, it doesn't make much of a difference. However, this is what Yifeng knows. I want everyone to know, or wait for the results of the treatment. The first day of treatment is over. The results of the treatment on the first day will be announced on the second day. Early the next morning, the treatment team gave Peng Lin a general examination. It has been a day since I used the cancer medicine. Will it work? Everyone is waiting. Soon, the inspection results appeared. The person in charge of the inspection handed the inspection report to Dean Zhou. Dean Zhou and Professor Chen looked at the test results together. After reading it, Professor Chen couldn't control his emotions. It works, it really works. Cancer cells are suppressed. Professor Chen said excitedly. He knew very well what this inspection report represented. The most troublesome thing about treating cancer is inhibiting the spread of cancer cells. In the early stage, there are not many cancer cells, and the spread rate is relatively slow. Using some means can inhibit the spread of cancer cells. This is the condition for treatment. However, in the later stage, the cancer cells have spread to a large area. And it spreads very fast. Even if external suppression is used, it cannot be controlled at all. Without this step, cancer cells have no way to deal with it. This is why there is no cure for it at an advanced stage. But now Professor Chen sees hope. Cancer cells in Peng Lin's body have been suppressed. It has stopped spreading around. Some cancer cells are even shrinking. This is the crucial step. As long as this continues to develop, it is really possible for cancer to be cured. After many years, hope finally appeared. Xiao Zhou, send this inspection report immediately. Maybe this is the motivation for those cancer patients to survive. Professor Chen said excitedly. He has been in cancer for over 10 years. The most understandable is the mood of the patient, as well as the mood of the family. Although this report does not indicate the final result, it is a very important hope. Seeing the report will rekindle hope in their hearts. Okay, I'll send it out. Dean Joe is also very happy. If the treatment is effective, it means that they are not far from the final success. Soon, a progress notification appeared on the official website of Mond University. A new inspection report is issued. Penn's house. Daughter, has your brother's treatment progressed? Father Peng asked his daughter. Neither he nor Peng Lin's mother knew how to use computers, so they had to let their daughter do it. It hasn't appeared yet, I'm watching it, it should be soon. Peng Lin's sister has been refreshing the interface, waiting for the progress notification to appear. Father Peng didn't ask about the result, so he could only do it in disappointment. Appeared, my brother's inspection report appeared. As soon as Father Peng sat down, Peng Lin's sister exclaimed. Come out, what's the result? Father Peng stood up immediately and asked nervously. My brother's condition has been suppressed, and my brother is getting better. Peng Lin's sister shouted in surprise. Really? Okay, great. After hearing the result, Father Peng was ecstatic. The son is saved. This is a big happy event for the entire Peng family. After seeing the notice, it was not only the Peng family who were happy. All families with cancer patients are very excited. This is hope that they continue to live. This is the result of the first day of medication. Next to 2 days, the official website of the University of Mond insists on publishing the treatment results. On the second day of treatment, the cancer cells began to shrink. On the third day of treatment, the condition was the same as in the midterm. This is a major breakthrough for the entire medical community. Although there are patients from advanced stage back to middle stage, but that is a very special case. It's simply impossible to replicate. But this time is different. This time it's all about medication. That is to say, there can be a second or third such patient. Even if the effect can only reach this level, it is also good news for the medical community. The treatment success rate of patients in the middle stage is definitely higher than that in patients with advanced stage. This is still used for advanced patients. Wouldn't it be better if it was used for midterm patients? It can be said that no matter what the results are in the future, the cancer medicine is considered a success. However, this is not the final result. Because Peng Lin's condition is already at an advanced stage. So the treatment takes a long time. The original 3-day treatment plan was extended by 2 more days. On the 5th day of treatment, the final treatment results came out. The cancer cells have all disappeared. Peng Lin has recovered. Not long after the final results were announced, the entire network exploded. In just 10 minutes, it was sent to the headlines. The popularity is also growing like crazy. All major news platforms are top reporting. They are reporting now, not for the heat. Instead, use your own strength to announce this exciting good news to the whole country. Especially those who are still suffering from cancer, should know about it as soon as possible. This is a great encouragement for them. Just an hour after the report was issued, Mond's official website went crazy. The message has exceeded 1 million. Everyone is asking where to buy cancer medicines. The First People's Hospital of Zunyang City. Cancer patient room. Mom, let's sell the house and treat my dad. A young man looked at the hospital bill in his hand and made a decision in his heart. How can this work? It's for your marriage, so how can you sell it? Besides, your father is sick, alas. The woman sitting by the hospital bed firmly rejected her son's decision. Her face was very haggard, she was in her 40s, and her hair had turned white. The reason their family is where they are now is because of her husband's illness, advanced liver cancer. In order to treat the husband's illness, their family has taken out all the continuations. But this is like a bottomless pit, and there is no hope at all. I can't get a penny out now. The hospital should be urged to continue to pay. If the money cannot be repaid, the hospital will stop the medication. By then, her husband will have to wait to die. Mom, our family has run out of money, I can't just watch dad die like this. The son is very filial and has made up his mind. It's just that they knew in their hearts that even if they sold the house, it would be a drop in the bucket. This disease has been cured. Hearing her son's words, the mother could only bow her head helplessly. Tears streamed down his cheeks. How could she want to watch the child's father die? Seeing her husband being tortured by illness every day, she was also heartbroken. But when the house was sold, the whole house collapsed completely. Just when the ward was dead silent, a piece of news was playing on the TV. Mond University has successfully developed a special drug for cancer, and successfully cured patients with advanced liver cancer in 5 days. This will be the gospel of all cancer patients, this station's special report. This news report resounded in the hearts of mother and son like thunder. Cancer cure. 5-day treatment for terminal cancer patients. Good news for all cancer patients. Hearing these news, the mother and son were both surprised and delighted. They are ready to sell the house to treat their loved ones. It can be seen that they are not reluctant to spend money. As long as he can treat his father well, even if he takes out all his property, he will not hesitate at all. But the hope is too slim. Even if all the money is spent, it will only make my father live a few more years of pain. This news report gave them hope. Son, is this report true? The mother asked in disbelief. This is TV news, it should be true, right? The son is not too sure. Whether it's true or not, son, first ask where you can buy special medicines, even if you spend all your money. The mother was a little excited. In any case, this is the hope for the son's father to live. Mom, don't worry, I'll go and ask. After speaking, the son ran out the door. Imperial City, Military District Hospital. At this point, the entire hospital was on alert. Emergency room door. The leaders of several troops were anxiously waiting at the door. Let them wait here, showing the importance of patients in the ward. Suddenly, the emergency room lights change. The doctor pushes the patient out. Doctor, how is the patient? One of the leaders asked anxiously. The patient has been rescued. But the patient is already in the advanced stage of gastric cancer. I'm afraid it won't last long. You should prepare early. After the doctor finished speaking, he left. His words were already an ultimatum. After the doctor left, the expressions of several leaders changed. Old Lee, what should I do? Mr. Yang is afraid it will be difficult to survive. Alas, the old man is the chief designer of this research project, and I am afraid the project will not go on. 3 years, are 3 years of investment, but such a problem appeared at a critical moment. 3 years of hard work, I'm afraid it will become a bubble. Several leaders were all sighing. The patient who has just been pushed out as the chief architect of an important project. For this project, the country has invested too much. Once this project is successful, the enhancement of military strength will be huge. Unexpectedly, the old man fell down at the last moment. Advanced cancer is no longer cured by money. Quote. We can't give up so easily. Even if we recruit experts from all over the country, we must cure the old man. One of the leaders was reluctant to give up. After the others heard it, none of them spoke. They know that even so, there is not much hope. At this time, the director of the hospital came with the leaders of the hospital. The hospital also realized that the patients who came this time were definitely not simple. You are the dean. Can advanced cancer be cured? The leader known as Lao Li is a little impatient. Seeing the dean, he asked sternly. Advanced cancer. Hearing this question, cold sweat broke out on the dean's face. This disease wants to be cured, unless a miracle happens. Seeing the dean's expression, old Li's face sank again. This made the dean even more uneasy. Just then, a young doctor from behind stood up. Leadership, maybe there is a way to govern. What can I do? Tell me now. Hearing that there is a way, Lao Li immediately asked anxiously. The others looked at the young doctor in amazement. Can advanced cancer be cured? Now is not a joke. Even the dean was in a hurry. Quickly wink at the young doctor. Don't let him talk nonsense. But the young doctor didn't care at all and insisted on speaking out. Mond University in Zhunyang recently developed a special cancer drug, which has a miraculous effect on the treatment of cancer. This is real, old Li asked in surprise. I used to study with Professor Chen Zuolin, the first drug treatment, he participated in the whole process, I can guarantee it is true. The young doctor said with certainty. There are a lot of people in the medical community paying attention to cancer-specific drugs. It's just that the doctor won't tell the patient about it if it's not really determined. Otherwise, if something happens, the doctor is also responsible. The young doctor dared to speak out because he was able to determine this matter. When he was still a student, he studied with Chen Zuolin. Even if he is working now, he often asks Chen Zuolin some questions. Chen Zuolin mentioned to him about the special medicine for cancer, and said that he was participating in the first treatment. He knew his former teacher very well. Except for medical research, he looked very light on other things. It's impossible to lie. That is to say, the thing about cancer medicine is true. This is why young doctors dare to speak out at such an important moment. Where can I buy the medicine? I'll let someone buy it. Old Li is in a hurry. Hearing the opportunity to cure Yang Lao, I couldn't wait in my heart. This, the young doctor did not know how to answer. It has just been researched by Mond University, and it is impossible to buy it at all. Say, don't slack around like a fool. Old Li urged impatiently. If it weren't for the hospital, he might have done it directly. Leader, there is no special medicine to buy right now. Mond University has just researched it, and it should not have started production. If you want to get the special medicine, you can only go to Mond University. The young doctor explained. Going directly to Mond University is probably the only way. After listening to the explanation, Lao Li thought for a while. Old Joe, go back and watch, I'll go to the Mond University to get medicine. Lao Li said to several other leaders. The medicine must be taken, and the University of Mond must also go. So Lao Li decided to go by himself. Old Li, you go to Mond University and restrain your temper. Lao Zhou reminded Lao Li. I know, it's long-winded all day long. After speaking, Lao Li left the hospital directly. Mond University, principal's office. Yi Feng looked at the dense messages on the computer and couldn't read it at all. Now the comments have reached 2 million. And it's still increasing. Everyone's message is asking one thing. When will the medicine be available? From these messages, Yi Feng saw the expectations of patients across the country. Being able to take the medicine one day earlier can save the patient a day of torment. Seeing this, Yi Feng knew it too. It's time to move the mass production of cancer drugs up the agenda. The research and development of cancer-specific drugs is to save cancer patients. Otherwise, why bother? However, trying to build a factory is a bit of a hassle. The factories that produce medicines are different from ordinary factories. In terms of requirements, it is very high. In terms of various documents, there are also many requirements. The cost of construction, Mond University has no shortage. Now the University of Mond has a lot of money. But if you build it yourself, it will definitely take a lot of time. At least it couldn't have been done a few years ago. But can't wait now. Cancer-specific drugs must be produced as soon as possible. One day later, someone may die of cancer. It is because of this that Yi Feng is entangled. Check that the principal is in a tangled mood, and the school starts to automatically upgrade. Congratulations to the host for obtaining an affiliated hospital with attributes. Congratulations to the host for obtaining a fully automatic pharmaceutical production line. System rewards coming. Hearing the system's voice, a smile appeared on Yi Feng's face. These rewards came too timely. Affiliated hospitals are essential for Mond University. As long as there are famous medical schools in China, they have their own affiliated hospitals. On the one hand, affiliated hospitals can help schools bring benefits. On the other hand, internship opportunities can be provided for school students. And arranging student work, this creates an interdependent relationship with the school. It is very beneficial for the development of the school. Now the University of Mond has developed a special cancer drug. It is also a very important opportunity. As long as the hospital is built, it will be able to use the advantages of special cancer drugs to quickly increase its reputation. This is something that no other school dares to think about. What's more, hospitals still have attributes. Yi Feng is very satisfied with this reward. In addition to the affiliated hospital, the system also rewarded a fully automatic pharmaceutical production line. This production line will be placed in the affiliated hospital. The whole can be used for the production of cancer-specific drugs. It saves the trouble of building a factory. With these rewards, all troubles are solved. Therefore, Yi Feng directly chose to receive the reward. System rewards are issued. At this time, a stack of documents appeared on the desk in front of Yi Feng. All documents for opening a hospital and producing medicines are in place. Moreover, the construction of the affiliated hospital will not occupy the area of the school. The affiliated hospital will be not far from the school. Land area, the system has been resolved. It can be said that Yifeng doesn't need to ask anything. This made Yifeng a lot of peace of mind. The construction of the affiliated hospital is entirely the responsibility of the system. Speed and quality are absolutely guaranteed. After reading this, Yifeng stopped paying attention. The construction of the affiliated hospital will also take a few days. There are some publicity issues that can be done these days. As soon as the construction is completed, patients can be received immediately. Especially cancer patients. There are also materials for the production of cancer-specific drugs, which also need to be solved in advance. Now that I think about it, there are indeed a lot of things that need to be resolved. However, Yifeng has Paimon. With the help of artificial intelligence, it can indeed save a lot of trouble. Just when Yifeng felt that he was free, the office phone rang. Hello, Headmaster Mon's office. Yifeng picked up the phone and said something. Headmaster, it's not good, our school is surrounded. There was a rush of voices on the phone. Hearing this sentence, Yifeng was speechless. It was also surrounded, and those who didn't know it thought that there was a war going on right now. However, he could hear the voice on the phone. It was the voice of Captain Mon's security. Paimon, turn on the surveillance at the school gate. Good principal. Soon, surveillance video appeared. After reading it, Yifeng was stunned. Really surrounded. Through monitoring, Yifeng saw that a lot of people had gathered at the gate of the school. These people are not the students and teachers of the school. All are faces that have never been seen before. Looking at these people, Yifeng couldn't help frowning. He had no idea what the purpose of these people was. If it is to come to Mon to make trouble, it will definitely have a big impact on the school. And in the crowd, he saw the figure of the reporter. This matter must be properly resolved. Afterwards, Yifeng ended the call and left the principal office. When he came to the school gate, the gate was already noisy. Brother, just open the door, we want to see the principal. Yes, we only need to see the school leaders, nothing else. Brother security, can you talk to your school and they will ask one thing. Everyone was clamoring outside the door to see the school leaders. Faced with this situation, the security guards dare not open the door now. After all, they still don't know the purpose of these people. There are students in the school, and safety is very important. If they bring danger to students, they can't take responsibility. Don't worry, I can't open the door for you right now. However, I have already reported to the principal, and I believe that the school leaders will deal with it soon. The security captain calmed the crowd. He could see that these people were not bad people. But out of duty, the door cannot be opened. Hearing the words of the security captain, the people at the door quieted down. After all, they weren't here to make trouble. At this time, outside the school gate, behind the crowd, a car stopped. Although the car is not a good car, but the license plate is not simple. Because this is a license plate from the army. Sitting in the car was Lao Li, who came to pick up medicine. What's going on here? In the car, Lao Li saw so many people surrounding the entrance of Mond University, so he asked his driver. As soon as he arrived at Mond University, something happened. Headmaster seems to be clamoring to see the school leaders. The driver reported what he heard to Lao Li. Could it be that the school did something wrong and the parents made trouble? Old Li guessed in his heart. Go down and see. After speaking, Lao Li got out of the car. The driver quickly got out of the car and protected Lao Li by his side. After all, it is leadership, and safety is very important. At this time, Yifeng came over. Headmaster. After seeing Yifeng, the school security hurriedly shouted. What happened? Yifeng asked the security captain. Principal, I don't know too well, these people are clamoring to see school leaders. The security captain said to Yifeng. Want to meet school leaders? After listening to it, he could not help frowning. He glanced at the person at the door. Among these people, there are men and women, old and young. It's not like he's here to make trouble. Open the school gate and I'll deal with it. Yifeng makes a decision. The security captain hesitated for a moment, then had the door open. However, they are ready. As long as someone dares to make trouble, they will act immediately. Seeing the school gate open, people outside the gate immediately gathered around. Hello everyone, don't move, our principal has come, and we will handle anything. The captain of security shouted through a loudspeaker. Hearing the sound, everyone quieted down. Yifeng walked to the school gate and stood in front of everyone. I'm Yifeng, president of Mond University. Don't worry now, I will solve everything for you. Yifeng shouted to everyone. Everyone was stunned when Yifeng said that he was the president of Mond University. You really are the principal, so young. A middle-aged man standing at the front said suspiciously. This is indeed the principal of our school. The security captain explained to everyone. With the testimony of the security captain, everyone believed it. In the crowd, old Li looked at Yifeng in surprise. Also surprised by Yifeng's age. This principal is too young. However, he did not stand up at this time, but continued to look at the situation. Principal Yi, we are not here to make trouble. I just wanted to ask when Mond University's cancer medicine will be available. My daughter-in-law has terminal cancer and can't last long. In front of the crowd, the middle-aged man asked Yifeng. Speaking of his daughter-in-law, his face was full of sadness. Just as he finished speaking, the little girl who was holding hands by the man spoke up. Uncle, please save my mother. The little girl asked Yifeng. The people in the back also started to ask. All are asking about cancer cures. Hearing these words, Yifeng was stunned. It turns out that these people are all here for the cancer cure. Especially what the little girl said. It made Yifeng feel a lot in his heart. Everyone be quiet. Yifeng waved to everyone. Seeing his actions, everyone quieted down and looked at Yifeng expectantly. They were waiting for Yifeng's answer. I know everyone is anxious. After all, it is your relatives who are sick. Our school can understand this matter, but pharmaceuticals can't be in a hurry, let alone make mistakes. I'm here to assure you that after 3 days, everyone will be able to buy cancer medicine. At the same time, our school's affiliated hospital will also provide treatment for cancer patients. Yifeng assured everyone. This is already the fastest speed he can guarantee. If the time is too fast, there will not be enough raw materials to manufacture. Hearing Yifeng's answer, everyone fell silent. Of course they hoped to get the special medicine now. But they knew better in their hearts that this matter could not be rushed. In 3 days, there is something to look forward to. I have waited for such a long treatment, and it is not bad for these 3 days. Principal Yi, let me ask a question, is the special medicine for cancer expensive? A middle-aged woman asked worriedly. Many families have already expended their money in order to treat their family members. If the medicine is particularly expensive, it will definitely be a heavy burden for them. Yifeng is also clear in his heart. Many people are concerned about the price of special drugs. And he knew better in his heart that no matter what price was set, the masses would spend money on medical treatment. After all, life is the most important thing. However, Yifeng will not send this kind of distressed wealth. Everyone looked at Yifeng expectantly, waiting for him to answer. As for the price of special drugs, you can rest assured. I hereby promise to make it affordable for all families. Yifeng assured everyone. Hearing Yifeng's answer, everyone was excited. What they fear most is that the price is too high. Completely relieved now. Principal Yi, you are a good person, I thank you. Thank you, Principal Yi. Everyone thanked Yifeng. Thank you so much, just go back and take care of your relatives. Yifeng said to everyone. Having obtained the answer he wanted, the people surrounding the door began to disperse. Seeing people slowly leaving, Yifeng's 463 did not relax at all. After today's events, he felt that time was even more pressing. They can wait, but the patient can't. So he took out his phone. Paimon, send a notice to all school leaders for a meeting in half an hour. Yifeng gave instructions to Paimon. Okay, Paimon will send a notice. Paimon's lovely voice came from the phone. After Yifeng gave the order, he was about to leave the school gate. At this time, the voice of the security captain came. 2 gentlemen, you should go back first, the medicine will be available in 3 days. The security captain said to the 2 people who did not leave. Yifeng looked back. He saw that there were 2 other people at the door who did not leave. One is in his 50s, and the other is in his 20s. For some reason, Yifeng saw familiar shadows on them. This made Yifeng stop and walk back. You 2 gentlemen, what else do you do? Yifeng asked the 2 of them. This is the head of Li Guangjun of the Imperial Capital Military Region. The young man standing next to him took out a document. Military leaders. Yi Feng glanced at the documents and was stunned for a moment. This document is real. No wonder I could see the familiar shadow. It turned out to be from the military region. Hello Chief, welcome to Mond University. After confirming his identity, Yi Feng welcomed Li Guangjun. Don't say those polite words, I don't like them. I was in the crowd just now, and I heard everything you said. Well done. Li Guangjun highly appreciated Yi Feng's performance just now. Let's not talk about the previous guarantee, that is, the latter sentence is affordable for all families. Few people dared to speak out. What's more, this is for the treatment of cancer. With Li Guangjun's upright personality, he admires real people the most. Because he knew that Yi Feng was different from those businessmen who only knew how to make money. If it were someone else, they would definitely set the price very high. And no one will say anything. It's a lifesaver after all. What a shame, Yi Feng said modestly. Yi Feng was very happy to be able to say compliments from the leader's mouth. Sir, you must have something to do with Mond University, come to my office and tell me. Yi Feng said to Li Guangjun. He didn't even believe that such a big leader was passing by. If there is no important thing, it is impossible to appear at the gate of Mond University. Okay, let's go to the office and talk. Li Guangjun also knew that it was hard to say it outside. Afterwards, Yi Feng took Li Guangjun back to his office. On the way, he asked Paimon to give notice that the meeting was postponed. Soon, the three Yi Feng returned to the office. Sir, if you have anything, just say it. Yi Feng didn't say anything polite, and didn't make any detours. Okay, then I'll just say it. An important person in our military region has cancer, terminal stage. Need to use the special cancer medicine of Mond University, and brought me to find the medicine. Old Li also did not hide the purpose of directly stating it. Yi Feng was a little surprised when he heard Li Guangjun's purpose. The importance of this sick person can be seen by allowing such a big leader to come to find medicine in person. Although he was curious, he didn't ask much. Some things are not good if you ask them. Since the leadership needs it, I will let people prepare. Yi Feng said to Li Guangjun. 0. Some special drugs, there is no cost. Being able to save an important person because of these medicines can be regarded as a contribution to the country. Okay, Principal Yi is just refreshing. If it is useful to my old Li in the future, I will definitely help. Li Guangjun said with a smile. Yi Feng also smiled. This wave of medicine was delivered well. Some medicine can be exchanged for a leader's favor, which is definitely a big profit. For Li Guangjun, these medicines can really change a person's favor. You must know that the person to be rescued this time is an important project related to the country. If the project is successful, the value to the country is immeasurable. Li Guangjun naturally has to remember this kindness. Then, Yi Feng called Dean Zhou. Ask him to bring a special medicine for cancer. Although Dean Zhou did not know what the principal wanted the special cancer medicine for, he did not hesitate. Soon he came to Yi Feng's office with a special medicine for cancer. When he knew Li Guangjun's identity, he was frightened. Such a big man can only be seen on TV. Unexpectedly, it appeared in the school. After Dean Zhou knew the general situation, Yi Feng asked him to tell Li Guangjun about the method of medication and precautions. Li Guangjun wrote down everything, and then left Mond University a hurry with the medicine. He was really anxious. After all, old man Yang was still waiting for him to go back. After sending off Li Guangjun, Yi Feng sent out the meeting notice again. Things at school can't be delayed. Once delayed, it is very likely to delay the treatment time. Maybe someone will lose the last chance for treatment. Therefore, Mond University must race against time and cannot afford to lose a little time. Soon, all leaders were notified. This is the second time they have been notified. Everyone knew that the matter must be urgent, so they did not hesitate and rushed to the conference room. When Yi Feng arrived, everyone had already arrived. Entering the conference room, Yi Feng became serious. Start a meeting now, this meeting is about the latest cancer medicine. No one was surprised to hear what Yi Feng said about the meeting. Cancer cures are no secret at Mond University. Now that the research has been successful, it is natural to start the following things. Meetings and discussions are also normal. I believe everyone has heard about what happened at the school gate today. Our next plan at MOND is the production of specific cancer drugs. Yi Feng said to all the school leaders. But after he finished speaking, everyone frowned. How could they not know about such a big thing at the school gate? And they also know that the principal also made a 3-day guarantee. This is something that everyone can't understand. MOND University is just a pure university, not a pharmaceutical company. It's not that simple to want to make a drug. It is a matter of the factory, and it is not so easy to solve. Unless you find another factory for OEM. But even so, it may not be possible to do it in 3 days. Principal, the special medicine wants to be mass-produced, I'm afraid it will take 3 days. Dean Zhou of the medical school said worriedly. Although he didn't finish speaking, Yi Feng already understood what he meant. You don't need to worry about production, I have already bought a complete automatic production line. There are a few things that need to be done right now. Yi Feng is not worried about the production at all. There are systematic rewards, and you don't need to be too busy. Everyone was surprised when they heard Yi Feng's words. The principal is too foresight. They have no news at all. The principal has bought a fully automatic production line. No wonder it can guarantee the production of special medicines in 3 days. It was already ready. This reassured the leaders. So they all seriously waited for the principal's order. The first is the issue of production materials, which requires us to get a batch of manufacturing materials for special medicines as soon as possible. Director Feng, this matter is left to you. You have been in charge of the school's procurement work, I believe you can handle it well. You can find Director Xie for any financial needs, and Director Zhou for the list of materials. Director Xie, Director Zhou, pay attention to your cooperation. Yi Feng gave instructions to Director Feng. Headmaster, I see, I must finish it as soon as possible. Director Feng took the task next. Xie Lan and Dean Zhou also nodded. The next thing to say. Our school is currently building the MOND affiliated hospital, and the work of the affiliated hospital needs you to complete it. Yi Feng said another message. After hearing this, the teachers were surprised again. It's okay if they don't know about the production line. Why is there still an affiliated hospital? This is a major event in the school, so it started quietly. But there is one thing that makes the leaders a little strange. Where is the affiliated hospital located? The school did not see construction at all. Everyone knew that Yi Feng was mysterious, so they didn't ask any further questions. After the affiliated hospital is completed, it will definitely receive a lot of cancer patients, so doctors should be recruited from now on. In the early stage, the hospital needs to receive all the business related to cancer, and the doctors needed will definitely be relatively single. President Zhou, you know a lot of people in the medical field, and you are responsible for recruiting. It would be better if we could bring in some experts. Yi Feng said to Dean Zhou. Okay, after the meeting, I'll get in touch. Dean Zhou answered seriously. President Zhou, when the affiliated hospital starts to receive patients, there will definitely be a lot of patients. So your task is very heavy. If the recruitment is too late, you will find someone to help. We can't turn patients away. Yi Feng instructed Dean Zhou. Yi Feng has already seen the scene at the school gate today. You can imagine what it will be like when the hospital opens 3 days later. If there are fewer doctors, the time to see a doctor will definitely be delayed. Many patients cannot afford to wait. Principal, I see. Dean Zhou said very seriously. By the way, there must be senior students in our school's medical school who need internships and can also help in the hospital. Yi Feng suddenly remembered about the students. Internships in the hospital can also be regarded as accumulating experience in advance. By the way, help the hospital to cultivate some talents. Yeah, why didn't I think that I would let the teachers arrange it after I went back? I have to say that Yi Feng's suggestion gave Dean Zhou a great inspiration. Hospitals need more than just doctors, but other positions as well. Such as nurses. It just so happens that the school has related majors. In this way, even the students' practice problems have been solved. Perhaps, the employment problem of students does not have to be dealt with. Thinking of this, Dean Zhou was very happy. The deans of other colleges felt sour when they saw the smile on Dean Zhou's face. They want that opportunity too. Things have been arranged almost, This work is very important. I hope all departments can cooperate closely, and the meeting will be dismissed. After explaining, Yi Feng left the office. Others leave quickly and go about their business. Soon, the entire Mond University began to function. Considering the time issue, Yi Feng shortened the time for the system to build the hospital to 2 days. This also leaves a day to schedule work. In the next 2 days, the work of various departments of the school began to report to Yi Feng here. All production materials have been negotiated. Fundamental Director Feng's report. Those material vendors, when they heard that Mond University was producing special cancer medicines, all agreed directly. And the price is much lower than before. The matter of special cancer drugs is beneficial to the people of the whole country. It's more protection for everyone's life. Who can be confident that they will not get cancer? So many people are very supportive. Especially Yi Feng's guarantee at Mond University. Make it affordable for all families. It is admired by all. Mond has already achieved this point, how can they make less money? The material problem is solved. Recruitment of physicians is progressing relatively slowly. In 2 days, Dean Zhou has contacted 40 cancer experts. But only 20 specialists were willing to join the Mond-affiliated hospital. After all, the Mond-affiliated hospital has just been established, and I have never heard of it before. How could they give up their current jobs and go to an uncertain hospital? So the recruitment thing is not ideal. Dean Zhou reported this to Yi Feng. Yi Feng also didn't have a good solution. Experts cannot be recruited, so they can only settle for the next best thing. It is still possible to recruit a group of general doctors in cancer. Fortunately, Mond uses a special cancer drug, which does not require too high technology. This can also reduce some difficulties. In addition to recruitment, student internships have also been implemented. All the medical students were very happy to hear that Mond has its own affiliated hospital. Anyone who has gone to university knows that medical students are not easy to find jobs. It would be better if it was a prestigious university. To a second-class university like Mond, there is no hospital at all. Unless there is a background at home. For graduating seniors, many are ready to lose their jobs. Well now, the school has its own affiliated hospital. There is no need to worry about the safety of the internship. After the internship, their jobs are guaranteed until they graduate. With work experience, it will be much easier to find a better job. The school has such conditions, how could they be unhappy? The students actively participated, and the school's work arrangement was much simpler. These works were completed, and the construction of the hospital was completed. When no one was paying attention, a hospital had appeared not far from Mond University. Because Yi Feng shortened the construction time, it was completed in 2 days. In the principal's office, after the construction of the hospital was completed, Yi Feng received a notification from the system. But what makes Yi Feng happy is not the completion of the hospital construction. It is the property of the hospital. For attributes, Yi Feng cares a lot. Now is the time to open the blind box again. System, generate attributes for hospitals. Yi Feng gave instructions to the system. The construction of the affiliated hospital is completed, and the attribute generation starts. Affiliated hospital, health plus 30, treatment effect plus 30, trust plus 40, recruitment plus 30. Soon, the attributes of the affiliated hospital were generated. 4 attributes. Yi Feng was very happy to see the content of the property. Hygiene is the cleanliness of a hospital. The requirements for hygiene in the medical environment are very high. Increasing the hygiene value is considered to add some advantages to the hospital. After all, many patients care about health care. The treatment effect is very simple. It is the effect of the doctor's treatment on the patient when the patient sees a doctor in the hospital. This is very important for hospitals. It can save lives in critical moments. Trust is the trust a patient has in a doctor. Many patients will doubt the doctor's level, thus causing unnecessary trouble. Now that there are attribute bonuses, you don't need to care about them at all. The last attribute was what surprised Yi Feng the most. It's what the hospital needs most right now. Recruitment, as the name suggests, is to help hospitals recruit talents. The only person a hospital needs is a doctor. Now the affiliated hospital has just been established, and the most shortage is doctors. It can be seen from the recruitment situation in the past 2 days that it is not so simple to improve the hospital in an all-round way. With the attributes of recruiting talents, I believe that this problem can be solved soon. After reading it, Yifeng was very satisfied. At this point, all the preparatory work is completely completed. So Yifeng sent a notice to all the leaders. Meet tomorrow at Mond Hospital. Early next morning, Yifeng went directly to the Mond-affiliated hospital. He didn't come when the hospital was built, so he didn't know what the hospital was built like. Now I can finally see it. Mond-affiliated hospital is not far from Mond University. Even on foot, it's only 5 minutes away. Soon, a tall building appeared in Yifeng's eyes. On the building is written a large line of characters. Mond University Hospital. The Mond-affiliated hospital has a total of 20 floors. The exterior has all been renovated. No one would believe that it was built in 2 days. Yifeng came to the door of the hospital, and the school leaders were already waiting. This place has just been built. Without Yifeng's permission, it is impossible to enter. The school leaders could only wait at the door. However, from the outside, they were already very surprised. Such a building, the value is not comparable to the teaching buildings in the school. Unexpectedly, the principal carried out such a large project silently. Since everyone is here, let's go in and have a look. Yifeng said to the school leaders. Hearing this, everyone was very happy. For the internal situation of the hospital, they have been looking forward to it for a long time. Afterwards, Yifeng took everyone into the hospital. After entering the door, everyone was shocked. It's luxurious too. They have also seen many large hospitals, even top hospitals. Nothing compares here, whether it's decoration or equipment. The Mond hospitals are all of the highest standard. Even some very rare equipment can be found here. In addition to medical equipment, the ward facilities are even more surprising. Ordinary wards can catch up with the luxury wards of top hospitals. It took them an hour to visit the entire hospital, Ma Wanghao. It can be said that the whole hospital is full of surprises. After reading it, Yifeng also knew something. Then, he asked Dean Zhou to send a notice to the recruited doctor. Let your doctor familiarize yourself with the work environment. In addition, students must be informed. Tomorrow is when the hospital opens, and all work must prepare clothes in advance. After explaining this, Yifeng took Director Feng to see the fully automatic production line. A batch of special medicines must be produced today. Otherwise, the doctor will see a doctor tomorrow. Other drug systems are included, and the entire pharmacy is full. But cancer drugs need to be produced by themselves. After Director Feng knew it, he immediately had the raw materials shipped. The material is put into production as soon as it arrives. In this way, by noon, the hospital had begun to operate. Everyone is preparing to receive patients tomorrow. Chapter 91. The second day after the hospital was built, Yifeng and the cancer patient agreed on the time. In order to ensure that patients can seek medical treatment, the doctors and nurses of the Mond-affiliated hospital did not go home. All resting in hospital beds, including Yifeng. Today is a very important day for Mond, and he will be sitting here. Before dawn, the entire hospital had begun to operate. Everyone is nervously preparing, especially those students without internship experience or familiar with their work. I am afraid that when the patient comes, I will make mistakes. The hospital opens at 7 in the morning. Yifeng had issued a notice on the official website the night before and published the address of the Mond hospital. He was just afraid that the patient would not find a place. Soon, it's 7 o'clock. Yifeng took the doctor and nurse to the door of the hospital. When they opened the door, everyone was stunned. At the entrance of the hospital, there were already densely packed people. At a glance, it is impossible to count. Seeing the door open, everyone outside was excited. They all came here early. Some people have even been waiting here for 2 hours. Just to be able to see a doctor sooner. When waiting here, everyone's mood is tense, expects, and some worry. Now that the door of the hospital is open, their hearts can finally be put down. At this time, the people waiting at the door moved. Want to rush into the hospital. Seeing this scene, Yifeng frowned. The number of patients was beyond his imagination. It is estimated that there are definitely more than 1,000 patients. According to the current number of doctors at the Mond-affiliated hospital, I am afraid it will take a week. Now we have to figure out a way, otherwise people who are seriously ill won't be able to wait that long at all. At this time, Yi Feng stood up. Don't be in a hurry, everyone, queue up slowly to enter the hospital. After registering at the front desk, go to the hospital, and then go to the assigned ward. Those who are seriously ill have their own cases and can arrange treatment in advance. I know that everyone wants to recover quickly, so please forgive me for this arrangement. Yi Feng took the megaphone and shouted to everyone. Hearing his words, everyone's footsteps slowed down. Then start queuing. This is the hope of their lives, and no one dares to make trouble at this time. And no one engages in special circumstances just because their family has money. Now I want to be admitted to the hospital honestly. The patients began to line up to enter the hospital, very orderly. Doctors and nurses are also getting busy. To prevent patients from waiting too long, 10 check-in points were set up at the front desk. Yi Feng also asked Paimon to come out to help. A complete hospital operation system has been established. As long as the patient's information is entered into the system, the ward can be arranged immediately according to the condition without excessive procedures. This saves a lot of time. At the same time, it can also screen out people with severe disease for treatment first. Everything is proceeding in an orderly manner. The originally empty Mond-affiliated hospital has also begun to be enriched. Doctors and nurses are busy. Even if you are tired, you cannot rest. Some people are so busy that they don't even have time to drink. But looking at the admitted patients, they gritted their teeth and insisted. Especially those students, but also realized what is the doctor's responsibility. Soon, an hour passed. It is now 8 in the morning. The number of people waiting outside to check in hasn't diminished at all. Many patients who came from other places have also arrived. Yi Feng has been guarding the entire first floor. In the event of an accident, he will come forward immediately. At this time, Dean Zhou ran to Yi Feng's side. Headmaster, there is something for you to decide. What's up? Yi Feng looked at Dean Zhou and asked. Headmaster, 1,200 baud people have been admitted so far. What's the matter? Are there not enough wards? It's not that there are not enough wards, it's that there are not enough doctors, and our recruitment time is still too short. Dean Zhou reported to Yi Feng. Hearing that it was the doctor's question, Yi Feng frowned. Although the hospital has the attribute of recruiting talents, the time is too short. If there were another 7 days, this would definitely not be the case. Now, Yi Feng doesn't have a good solution either. Just when they were embarrassed, a group of people walked in from the hospital door. After seeing Yi Feng, he immediately walked towards Yi Feng. Principal Yi. The old man walking in the front shouted to Yi Feng. Professor Chen. Yi Feng looked at the person who came and shouted in surprise. The person here is Professor Chen Zuolin. You are this. Yi Feng looked at the people behind Chen Zuolin and asked in confusion. Principal Yi, I heard that your hospital is short of staff, so I brought someone to help. These are cancer specialists, all very experienced in cancer. Chen Zuolin introduced Yi Feng. Hearing this, a smile appeared on Yi Feng's face. Welcome, it's really bothering the experts. Now is the time when there is a shortage of manpower, and these experts came too timely. There's no trouble, it's all for the sake of curing the disease and saving people, it should be. Chen Zuolin said indifferently. They are not here for fame and fortune. Just simply to help. Mond University has done so much, and it is time for these experts to contribute. Okay, Dean Zhou, it's up to you to arrange the experts. Bring experts to familiarize themselves with the environment as soon as possible, and then put into treatment. Yi Feng handed the matter over to Dean Zhou. It is good. Come with me, experts. After speaking, Dean Zhou took the people upstairs. I have to say that with the help of experts, the pressure on doctors has been reduced a lot. The efficiency of treating patients has also improved a lot. Although there are still a steady stream of patients admitted. But there is no pressure anymore. After the doctor has diagnosed the patient, the drug has been started. The cancer-specific medicines produced have begun to be used by patients. Of course, it starts with terminally ill patients. As time passed, it was already evening. Most of the patients have been hospitalized. At this time, the hospital statistics also came out. In one day today, a total of 3,500 patients were admitted. Counting the family members of the patients, the Monde-affiliated hospital has received 10,000 people. Seeing the hospital's admission data, Yi Feng knew that he was not particularly happy. Because he knew that the test of Monde-affiliated hospital had just begun. More than 3 million people are diagnosed with cancer every year in the country. The cumulative number of surviving cancer patients has reached nearly 20 million. Compared with such a huge number of data, the number of patients received by the Monde-affiliated hospital is nothing at all. These patients are all from Zhunyang City and several surrounding cities. The matter of the Monde-affiliated hospital has not yet fully spread. By then, the entire hospital may not be able to hold it. So, the test has just begun. The next day, the matter about the Monde-affiliated hospital was reported by reporters. Especially the scene where thousands of people are waiting at the door is even more shocking. The Monde-affiliated hospital went viral on the internet. A name that I had never heard of before went straight to the hot search list. It got thousands of people complimenting it. Especially after someone posted the video of Yi Feng's assurance at the gate of Monde University, everyone was shocked. Monde has done so much without anyone knowing. It didn't end there. When this incident was hot, the Imperial Military Region Hospital officially issued a notice. Patients in our hospital have been treated with cancer-specific medicines and have now recovered. Thank you Monde University for its contribution to medicine. This notice undoubtedly added a fire to the original popularity. The Imperial Military Region Hospital is very famous in China. It can even be said to be an authority in the medical profession. Now the authority has made a public statement, making more cancer patients more determined. Many people started to transfer to the hospital and wanted to be transferred to the Monde-affiliated hospital. This is a lot of pressure for the Monde-affiliated hospital. Monde Hospital, Yi Feng's separate office. Principal, today our school has received 300 hospital transfer calls, all from hospitals all over the world. Even some well-known large hospitals called. Dean Zhou reported to Yi Feng. Transfer to hospital. Hearing this word, Yi Feng was a little surprised. Can we take all these patients? Yi Feng asked Dean Zhou. It's acceptable to receive, but it's not the way to go on. Our hospital is able to provide 5,000 beds, and now nearly 4,000 people have been hospitalized. And there are still a steady stream of patients coming, and soon the hospital will be saturated. Dean Zhou expressed his concerns. Hearing this, a look of thought appeared on Yi Feng's face. He also knew that this was not the way to go. After all, the conditions of the hospital are limited. No matter how luxurious the construction of the Monde-affiliated hospital is, the space is not infinite. If all the 20 million patients in the country came to the Monde-affiliated hospital to be hospitalized, they would not be able to support it. Therefore, this problem must be solved. Soon, Yi Feng made a decision in his heart. President Zhou, how long does it take for a patient who has used the medicine to recover? Yi Feng asked Dean Zhou. It takes about 5 days for advanced stage patients, depending on their physical condition, and up to 3 days for intermediate stage patients. Dean Zhou explained that he did not understand what the principal meant. Starting today, early-stage cancer patients don't need to check in, they can leave after taking medication. Patients in the middle stage depend on the situation, and they can be hospitalized in the late stage. If the examination in the hospital is too late, you can go to other hospitals for examination. In addition, the transfer applications from other hospitals have been rejected, and our hospital provides special drugs for major hospitals according to the situation. Yi Feng spoke out about his decision. The treatment at Monde Hospital is different from other hospitals. There is no need to be hospitalized at all in patients with early-stage cancer. The early treatment is very fast, and after using the special cancer drug, it will be almost a day. No more than 2 days at the latest. There is no need for such a patient to be hospitalized. Also, patients with advanced stage need to be hospitalized for observation. As for patients in other hospitals, there is absolutely no need to transfer them. And the Monde-affiliated hospital couldn't live there either. Even if it is only a terminally ill patient, there are not so many people living there. Patients will certainly be tortured on the way to hospital, so why should they suffer this kind of crime? Of course, Yi Feng didn't want to give up these patients. The MOND-affiliated hospital will provide specific medicines according to the patient's condition in each hospital. As long as there is a specific medicine, the patient can be cured. Hearing Yi Feng's decision, Dean Zhou thought for a while and felt that there was no problem. Headmaster, I see, I'll do it now. After speaking, Dean Zhou left. It didn't take long for the notice from the MOND-affiliated hospital to come out. Patients with early-stage cancer will not be eligible for hospitalization. Intermediate patients are not necessary and do not need to be hospitalized. Advanced patients can be hospitalized. After hearing this announcement, the patients were very surprised. Can you be hospitalized if you have cancer? Cancer is a serious and intractable disease no matter where it is. But in the MOND-affiliated hospital, it is not worthy to be hospitalized. For this notice, some patients were initially reluctant. I feel that hospitalization can be cured better. After all, there is no shortage of hospital expenses. But after the doctor said a word, they didn't say anything. A disease that can be cured in one day, no matter what hospital you stay in. This sentence was also dared to be said by the doctors of the MOND-affiliated hospital. After the patient heard it, they could only accept it silently. In addition to this notice, MOND-affiliated hospital also sent messages to other hospitals. Cancer patients from other hospitals are not allowed to be transferred to the MOND-affiliated hospital. However, special medicines will be provided. After receiving the notice, the hospitals were very excited. No need to transfer hospital, can save a lot of trouble. So hospitals started notifying patients who wanted to be transferred. When the patients heard the news that they could not be transferred, they were all very angry. This is related to their life and death, how could they not be transferred? Everyone's first thought is that the hospital is doing shit. Some people even went through the discharge procedures on the spot. Fortunately, the hospital explained quickly. Tell the patient that MOND-affiliated hospital will provide the special medicine. This caused the patient to calm down suspiciously. In fact, I still have some doubts. Soon, MOND's official website issued a notice. Overseas cancer patients can choose to seek medical treatment in local hospitals. MOND-affiliated hospital will provide special medicines for hospitals in various cities. Go. Not long after MOND's notice was issued, it immediately caused a huge response on the internet. This decision attracted the support of the people across the country. Thousands of people online are talking about it. Really, MOND is going to give other hospitals special medicines. The information from MOND's official website must be true. Very good. My grandfather should not be transferred to another hospital, long live MOND. My grandmother is 85 years old, and the distance from my home to MOND is more than 1,000 kilometers. I feel that MOND made such a decision. Everyone is applauding MOND's decision. Cancer patients are all over the country. The farthest from MOND can be more than 2,000 kilometers. Some of the patients are elderly. If you are in a relatively large city, you can also fly the plane. However, in some remote areas, only trains can be used. It may even take days and nights. In such a situation, the patient simply cannot hold on. Some seriously ill patients may not be able to last for a day. If MOND hadn't made his current decision, this person might not even be able to transfer to another hospital. Knowing that there are life-saving medicines, there is an insurmountable distance. Well now, MOND's special medicine is delivered directly to the door. Save a lot of risk for the patient. Judging from the reactions on the internet, Yi Feng's decision was very correct. Not long after the notice was issued, the conditions of patients in major hospitals have been sent to the MOND-affiliated hospital one after another. These things on the internet, still Paimon is responsible for. With the help of artificial intelligence, a large part of the time can be saved, and there will be no mistakes. With the information sent by various hospitals, the number of patients is increasing. More and more special medicines are needed. MOND Hospital. In Yi Feng's office, Paimon, report statistics. Yi Feng said to his mobile phone. Principal, so far, 64,597 early-stage patients, 53,828 mid-stage patients, and 38,309 late-stage patients have received patient information. Paimon reports to Yi Feng's meeting. So much. Hearing the numbers, Yi Feng was a little surprised. You must know that it was only an hour before the notification was issued, and the total number of people had already reached 150,000. although it is nothing compared to the total number of sick people in the country. But the numbers are still scary. With so many people, Yifeng began to worry. Paimon, how many people can the special medicines produced by our hospital treat every day? Yifeng began to worry about production issues. If it is just a patient who comes to Mond, there is no problem at all. But now it has to be provided to other hospitals. The demand has more than doubled directly. Under such a huge demand, the pressure on production will definitely increase a lot. Principal, the average daily production capacity of the Mond-affiliated hospital can supply 200,000 people for treatment. Paimon speaks out about the data produced. 20,000 people. Hearing this data, Yifeng frowned. Although this number is quite high, it is not enough. You must know that there are 150,000 patient information coming in an hour now. The number in a day is definitely not less than 1 million. The supply of special medicines simply cannot keep up. In this way, some patients have to wait for a long time. Some patients can wait, but some patients can't. Paimon, you sent a message to the hospitals, and in the first 3 days, only special medicines were provided to patients with advanced stage, so that they could arrange it reasonably. Yifeng gave orders to Paimon. Late-stage patients are seriously ill and cannot be delayed. Therefore, it is necessary to provide specific drugs to patients with advanced stage first. If it is only terminally ill patients, Mond Hospital can also be busy. Okay, headmaster. Paimon quickly executed the order. Soon, the notice was sent out. Afterwards, Yifeng left the office and went to the place where the production line was placed. When he arrived, he saw Director Feng directing more than a dozen people to work. Because it is a fully automatic production line, it does not require too many people. These dozen or so are the people who are responsible for carrying the medicine. The management of the hospital has not yet been perfected, and Director Feng is the temporary person in charge here. The school has done such a big thing, and these leaders are very willing to contribute their own strength. 0. After Yifeng arrived, Director Feng saw it immediately. Principal, the production is going well. Director Feng reports to Yifengwei. Okay, Director Feng, thank you for your hard work. Yifeng nodded and said, what kind of hard work this is, I, Lao Feng, deserve it. Director Feng said with a smile. For Yifeng's comfort, he was still very happy. By the way, have you seen the notice from the school? Yifeng asked Director Feng. A notice to give other hospitals special medicines. I see. That's good, you have to be careful, the recent production pressure will be very high. Principal, I understand, I must do my best. There is also the issue of raw materials, which must not be interrupted, and you must grasp this. Yifeng reminded Director Feng. The raw materials produced are the basis for the manufacture of specific medicines. This must be guaranteed. I'll call the suppliers later and ask them to stick with the supply issue. Director Feng also knew that this matter was important and did not dare to neglect it in the slightest. One more thing, contact the transportation company, and according to the hospital information, the special medicine will be sent out today. Yifeng explained the last thing to Director Feng. I understand, let's do it now. Director Feng took these things down seriously. At this moment, Yifeng's cell phone rang. A phone call from Dean Zhou. Principal, the leaders of the city are here. Dean Zhou reported to Yifeng. Okay, I get it. After speaking, Yifeng went back to his office. When he arrived, Dean Zhou was accompanying 2 people. One Yifeng knew, Sun Junshan, the leader of the education department. The other one is unfamiliar. Brother Sun, you are here. Yifeng said hello. Brother Yi, with such a big thing happening here, how could I not come? Sun Junshan said with a smile. It is only good for Mond to have such achievements. Because of Mond, he has been praised many times. Yifeng and Sun Junshan chatted for a while, then looked at the person next to them. Who is this? Yifeng asked curiously. Brother Yi, let me introduce to you, this is Wang Yunjie, the leader of the VIA department. Sun Junshan introduced to Yifeng. Hello, Leader Wang. Yifeng reached out to Wang Yunjie. Principal Yi, I've heard about you for a long time, but I just can't get away to take a look. Seeing it today, it really is young and promising. Wang Yunjie said with a smile. Leader, I'm sorry, I just did what I was supposed to do. Yifeng said with a light smile. It's a good thing to do, and the spirit of Principal Yi is admirable. Wang Yunjie praised. With one's own power, it is possible to save millions of people. Now it's just an understatement to say what should be done, which is not something everyone can do. Unexpectedly, it came out of the mouth of a 20-year-old young man. This makes Wang Yunjie admire very much. The two leaders came to Mond Hospital not just to praise me, right? Yi Feng changed the subject and started to get down to business. Brother Yi, we are here to tell you something on behalf of the country. 9. Sun Junshan began to get serious. Hearing this sentence, Yi Feng did the same. However, he didn't say anything, but waited for Sun Junshan to speak. Cancer medicine is of great significance to the country, and the country expresses its support for Mond Hospital. For everything related to special cancer drugs, the relevant departments must do their utmost to help. Sun Junshan said what the country conveyed. After hearing these words, Yi Feng was very surprised. I did not expect that the country would take this matter so seriously. This sentence is not just words. With this attitude of the state, the plan of Mond Hospital can be said to be a green light, and there will be no further obstacles. There are even some things that can get the state to take action. This is of great significance to the Mond Hospital. On behalf of Mond Hospital, I thank the state for its support. Yi Feng thanked the country. Headmaster Yi, you don't need to thank me. This time, Mond Hospital is not saving thousands of people, but tens of millions of people. This is a huge contribution to the country. Wang Yunjie said to Yi Feng seriously. As Wang Yunjie said, Mond's contribution is indelible. Yi Feng was also very happy at this point. After this incident, Mond University is afraid that it will be remembered by hundreds of millions of people. The time has come for Mond University to take off. Headmaster Yi, there is one more thing to tell you. VIA's decision to add special cancer drugs to the medical insurance policy can also be regarded as reducing the burden on the people. Wang Yunjie announced to Yi Feng. Yi Feng was also very happy after hearing this. This can also be regarded as the state's support for special cancer drugs. The state helps the people pay for most of the medicine costs, which has no effect on Mond. But it will definitely make patients more trusting in specific medicines. After all, it is a nationally recognized drug. Brother Yi, you can raise any difficulties now. Sun Junshan asked. They came this time to help Mond solve the problem. When it comes to difficulties, there are. Yi Feng remembered what happened today. I believe the two leaders have heard about the fact that Mond Hospital will provide special medicines to hospitals across the country. Sun Junshan and the two nodded. They knew this before they came. Mond now has only one production line, which can only supply 200,000 people a day, and the production pressure is very high. I decided to start with patients who were seriously ill and could also get through this. What hasn't been solved yet is the issue of drug transportation, which, after all, has to be provided to hospitals across the country. Yi Feng spoke out about the difficulties. To solve this problem, not a logistics company can solve it. There must be perfect logistics channels, and the transportation speed must be fast. Time is life, and it is very appropriate to use it here. Drug delivery. Sun Junshan couldn't help frowning when he heard Yi Feng's difficulty. This problem is really not easy to solve. After all, he wasn't in charge of this. Principal Yi, we will report the matter when we go back. I believe it will be resolved soon. Wang Yunjie said. The positions of the two of them could not be resolved, they could only be reported. Yi Feng nodded after hearing this. It is certainly more convenient for the state to help solve the problem than for them to find someone on their own. At this moment, the door of the office was pushed open directly. Principal, good news, Director Feng rushed in a hurry. But seeing so many people in the office, he didn't finish his words. Because he had already recognized Sun Junshan. This is leadership. Everyone in the office looked at Director Feng. Director Feng reacted and knew that he was being rude. Headmaster, I'm sorry, I'll come back later. After speaking, Director Feng was ready to go out. Come back, what's the matter, hurry up and say. Yi Feng called Director Feng back. It is definitely not an ordinary thing to make Director Feng so excited. Director Feng walked back to and looked at Sun Junshan embarrassedly. Say it now, Yi Feng urged. Principal, just now the 4 largest express delivery companies in China called. They are willing to jointly open up a transportation line for us to help hospitals transport cancer medicines to the whole country. And it's free help, no shipping fees. Director Feng said excitedly. Real. Yi Feng was very surprised when he heard it. The help of the 4 courier companies came just in time. The problem of special medicine transportation in Mond Hospital is not so simple. A courier company simply can't solve it. But now it is a combination of 4 express companies, and there is no problem with transportation. And it is a separate transportation line, separate from other express delivery. This can greatly reduce the transport time. It can be said that this transportation line is a lifeline. Principal, it's true, the people from the 4 major transportation companies are already on their way. Director Feng said. After learning about the situation, Yi Feng immediately issued an order. Okay. You immediately go and prepare the special medicines that the major hospitals need, and they must be shipped out today. We can wait, patients can't wait. After hearing Yi Feng's order, Director Feng immediately went to arrange it. Now the Mond Hospital has saved 300,000 special medicines for use by 300,000 people, and they will all be shipped out today. This is not an easy job. In addition, the Mond Hospital is currently understaffed, and it cannot delay time. After Director Feng left, Yi Feng looked at Sun Junshan. 2 leaders, the matter has been resolved, so there is no need to trouble you to take action. Yi Feng said to the 2. Okay, as expected, Sun Junshan has been listening by the side. For this matter, he also had some touches in his heart. This is the country he loves, and this is the national spirit. A difficult one, P+ support. Usually each for their own, fighting constantly. Once an accident occurs, they can be exceptionally united. How can such a country not be strong? The matter has been done, and Sun Junshan and the 2 did not stay any longer. They have to go back and report it. Yi Feng didn't stay in the office either. After the 2 leaders left, he went to the hospital's drug warehouse. The hospital was not staffed enough, and he couldn't be idle either. When Yi Feng arrived, only Director Feng and 5 people were busy in the huge warehouse. Their faces were covered in sweat. It can be seen that the tiredness is not light. Headmaster, why are you here? Director Feng asked in surprise after seeing Yi Feng. Why are there just a few of you here? Yi Feng frowned and asked Director Feng. The medicines for 300,000 people have filled the entire warehouse. 5 people are divided here, and by the time the division is over, it will be dark. Not to mention it was shipped out today. Principal, we don't have enough manpower here, and we have to leave some people in production, there can only be so many people here. Director Feng reported. All things are rushed in Mond Hospital, and it is impossible to find so many people. You can call and ask again, you can't get all the teachers who are free in the school. Yi Feng knew that this person would definitely not be able to do this. Even if it can be done, it is the patient's time that is delayed. Director Feng had no choice but to go to the contact person. Yi Feng was not idle either, and began to lead people to continue to divide. Fortunately, with Paimon's help, the number needed by each hospital has been calculated. It can save them a lot of trouble. However, there are too many hospitals, and the number is not the same. This is much more complicated. But there is no way. The number of specific drugs is limited, and the number must be controlled in the early stage. Not long after, Director Feng came with a group of people. There were about 60 or 70 people watching. Everyone wears a hard hat on their head. At a glance, you can tell that this is a worker at the construction site. Principal, Mr. Li has brought all the staff to help. Director Feng introduced the middle-aged man beside him to Yi Feng. Hello Mr. Li, thank you for your help, but it won't delay your work. Yi Feng asked President Li. It's not easy to go out to work, and he doesn't want to affect others because of Mon's affairs. Principal Yi, your school can develop this life-saving medicine, but it has saved many lives. Now you need help, what is our delay? 9. Everything here is to save lives, and every ounce of effort we put in will mean something. Besides, this is also to help myself, my father is still waiting for medicine to save his life in his hometown. Mr. Li said in an obliging tone. Compared with his father's life, the money earned on the construction site is worthless. Yi Feng heard this and nodded in agreement. After agreeing, he looked at the worker behind him. Everyone is here to help today, and I will double the salary for everyone. Workers also need to support their families, and he cannot let everyone work hard all day in vain. Principal Yi, what are you saying? We are all willing to come here to help. That's right, we don't want this salary. Isn't this burying us? If others can't help, just give some strength. Stop talking, brothers work. Nian. After speaking, the workers started to work. Yi Feng didn't say anything, and started asking people to guide them what to do. After all, these workers don't know how to work. The work is not difficult, and you learn it quickly. With the help of these people, the work efficiency has increased more than tenfold. Before the transporters arrived, they sorted the medicines from the major hospitals. The transport fleet arrived and loaded directly according to different provinces. The medicines are all from those hospitals, and they have been written clearly. Transporters are easy to tell. Finally, at noon, the medicines for 300,000 people were distributed. The transport staff guarantees that no matter how far the distance is, they can still be delivered at noon tomorrow. After doing this, Yi Feng felt relieved. By the time he returned to the office, he was very tired. This was the first time he was so tired after crossing into this world. But it makes sense. Noon the next day, Mond Hospital has received letters from various hospitals one after another. The special medicine has arrived. Even hospitals thousands of miles away sent messages of thanks. Seeing the reply, Yi Feng was completely relieved. Yi Feng was in a better mood. At this time, Dean Zhou also had good news. Dean Zhou came to the office. Principal, after the first batch of treatment patients have been examined, they have recovered and can be discharged from the hospital. Dean Zhou reported to Yi Feng. It's already healed, isn't it less than 3 days? Zhao's. Yi Feng asked in surprise. The first batch of patients on the drug were all advanced patients. The fastest cure time is predicted to be 3 days. But it's only been 2 days now. We have also studied this problem, but we have not found the reason. But it is certain that these patients have indeed recovered, and the symbols appear standard. Dean Zhou said with great certainty. Hearing this, Yi Feng suddenly thought of the reason. When the hospital is built, properties are generated. One of them is to increase the therapeutic effect. Now it's finally showing. Since he has recovered, he will be discharged from the hospital, so that more patients can be received. After Yi Feng knew the reason, he was already worried. Dean Zhou received Yi Feng's instructions and started to notify. The first batch, 500 patients, all recovered and were discharged from the hospital. The patients who received the notice couldn't believe it. Before entering the Mond hospital, they were very clear about their condition. Some are even on the verge of death. But it has only been 2 days, and they have already recovered. This is something I would never have thought about. If it wasn't for the inspection results in front of them, they would definitely not believe it. All thanks to Mond Hospital. Because this salvation is not one person, but 500 families. The family members of all the patients were very excited when they heard the discharge notice. Originally, the hospital was a place full of sorrow, but at this moment, Mond was full of laughter and laughter. What excites them isn't over yet. Mond Hospital payment window. A young man pays a bill with a bill. Soon, the fee he needed to pay came out. After seeing the numbers, the man was stunned for a moment. Doctor, have you made a mistake? The amount of money is wrong. The man reminded the doctor who charged the fee. The hospital had already saved his father's life, and there was no need to take advantage of it. Check with the doctor for a fee. It's not wrong, a total of 2,500 yuan. The charging doctor said with great certainty. That's right, is it so cheap? The man couldn't believe it. Although Yi Feng promised that it would be affordable for all families. But seeing the real cost, I still can't believe it. It is an ordinary disease, and it is impossible to be so cheap in other hospitals. Not to mention the treatment of cancer. You don't have to worry, the hospital has notified that the special cancer drug can be covered by medical insurance, and the state will reimburse 70%. The doctor didn't believe the man, so he explained. Hearing the explanation, the man was very happy. I didn't expect that such a good thing would happen. The cancer treatment cost less than half a month's salary. This cannot exist in any country. Just ask how many people went bankrupt in order to cure diseases before this. Compared to now, it's hard to believe. The man was very grateful to hand over the fee. When I went back to the ward to talk to my family, they were all shocked. At the same time, I am even more grateful to Mond Hospital. This is the real hanging pot. All recovered patients will not forget Mond's kindness. But, soon, what happened to Mond spread to the internet. First of all, the first batch of patients were cured and discharged, so that all patients were calmed down. Through this incident, I tell everyone that cancer is no longer a terminal illness, nor is it as terrible as imagined. The second thing is Mond's medical bills. The low is unbelievable. Looking at the payment slips posted on the internet, I do not believe that this is the fee paid by cancer patients. For a time, Mond Hospital became a little taller in everyone's hearts. Hanging a pot to help the world, a wonderful hand rejuvenates. All kinds of exaggerated words were taken out. Not only Mond's patients, but also patients in other hospitals came to express their gratitude. Severely ill patients have already started medication. Although he has not recovered, his condition is improving. For them, this is no small grace. If it wasn't for Mond's decision, they didn't know when they would have the opportunity to use the special medicine. As things fermented on the internet, the name Mond has been deeply imprinted in the hearts of the people of the country. The next few days, the production of special medicines at the Mond Hospital has not stopped. Special medicines are provided to other hospitals every day. The medicines provided are enough to treat millions of people, whether in remote mountainous areas or untouched wilderness. As long as there are critically ill patients in the local hospital, they can receive special medicines. Patients at other hospitals were treated, and those at Mond recovered faster. After all, there are attribute additions. So far, 2,000 people have recovered from the Mond Hospital. Cancer patients who are cured in a few days can even recover the number of people in the country in a year. You know, this is still a late-stage patient who focuses on treatment. Otherwise there will be more people. Today, Yifeng was looking at documents in the office. The hospital is on the right track, and he can take a good rest. At this moment, Dean Zhou pushed the door and came in. Seeing Dean Zhou's panicked appearance, Yifeng couldn't help frowning. Every time this happens, something happens. What's the matter? Say it directly. Yifeng said to Dean Zhou. Headmaster, go to the door of the hospital to have a look. Dean Zhou said anxiously to Yifeng. Yifeng didn't ask any further questions and walked out of the office. Soon, he came to the door of the hospital. But when he saw the scene at the entrance of the hospital, he was stunned. There are thousands of people standing in front of the hospital. These are patients who have recovered from the hospital, as well as their families. Each patient holds a red pennant in his hand. On the pennant were their words of gratitude to Mond. Anyone who sees this scene will not be shocked. Thousands of people sent pennants, and no hospital has ever had such an honor. This scene touched Yifeng's heart a lot. I didn't know what to say for a while. Principal Yi, thank you Mond for saving my life, and thank you for giving us the chance to live. An old man standing in the front row thanked Yifeng. After speaking, he bowed deeply. Thank you Mond Hospital, thank Principal Yi. Thousands of people bowed to Yifeng together. Everyone doesn't have to do this. Mond established the affiliated hospital to treat the sick and save the people. It's a duty, no thanks. Yifeng said to everyone. The research and development of special cancer drugs by Mond University is not for everyone's gratitude. It just did what it was supposed to do. He didn't feel like doing anything. But it is a lifesaver for the patient. For such kindness, it is not enough to say thank you. At this moment, a little girl walked up to Yifeng. Looking at a small pennant in his hand, the workmanship is also very rough. There are no words on the pennant, just a few small red flowers. Uncle, this is for you, thank you for saving Mother. The little girl looked at Yifeng very seriously. Children, where did the pennant come from? Yifeng asked with a smile. Uncle, I made this myself, and my mother said it was sincere. The little girl said very honestly. Okay, then uncle will accept it. Yifeng carefully held the small pennant in his hand. In his opinion, this small pennant is more meaningful than the $1 million bonus. After sending the patient who came to thank him away, Yifeng returned to the office. Sitting in his chair, he looked at the small pennant in his hand. At this moment, a pride that he had never felt before rose in his heart. When he first came across, he just wanted to develop Mond University. But now he felt something different. Especially seeing the smiles of those patients, a sense of accomplishment rose in his heart. What happened today told him that doing it made a lot of sense. The penance sent by the patients made all the doctors in the hospital more motivated. Seeing these, they knew that their efforts were not in vain. The next few days, the thing about cancer cures has leveled off. The number of cancer patients at Mond Hospital has stabilized. The recovered patients and the new patients have reached a balance. This made the pressure on the Mond Hospital a lot less. Hospitals all over the country have already started using special drugs. There have been many cases of recovery. The cancer situation in the whole country is very good. After the situation stabilized, Yifeng was anxious for all the leaders of the hospital to have a meeting. Since Mond began to receive patients, the development of the hospital has not stopped. Now the hospital has gradually improved. The problem of manpower shortage is also being solved step by step. Because of the attribute bonus of recruiting talents. Recently, the hospital has recruited a lot of talents. In particular, the number of medical experts has increased a lot. In addition to the treatment of cancer departments, other departments of the hospital have also been established. The leadership of the hospital has been basically established. Now the Mond Hospital is the real hospital. Hospital meeting room. At this point, all the leaders have arrived. This is the first time Yifeng has seen all the leaders. Among the leaders present, some people are familiar with Yifeng, and the rest have never met. However, to Yifeng's surprise, several people turned out to be experts who Chen Zuolin brought to help. Now not only help, but also stay in Mond Hospital. In fact, those experts knew in their hearts that Mond Hospital was their best choice. Whether it is treatment, or environment, and technology. Mond hospitals are no worse than their former hospitals. In this case, of course, they chose to stay in Mond Hospital. Of course, allowing them to make up their minds so quickly also has the effect of recruiting talents. In any case, it is only good for the development of Mond Hospital. Everyone is here, now the meeting begins. Everyone has worked hard during this time, and I thank everyone for their efforts on behalf of Mond. Yifeng thanked everyone. Since the hospital began to receive patients to the present, neither doctors nor nurses have had a good rest. In order not to make the patients wait, they usually run to work. These Yifeng are all in the eyes. The development of Mond Hospital is inseparable from them. Principle, this is what we should do. When a doctor is a doctor, he should treat the disease and save the life. Dean Zhou said with a smile. Other leaders feel the same way. Yifeng didn't argue with them, and started talking about business. To gather everyone here today is to announce something to everyone. I'm the president of the University of Mond, and I can't take care of the hospital too much. So today, I officially appointed President Zhou as the director of Mond Hospital. He will manage Mond Hospital from now on. Yifeng spoke out about his decision. He still has to focus on developing schools, and hospitals are just incidental. Now that the hospital has stabilized, he is going back to school. Dean Zhou was originally the dean of the school's medical school, and he was considered an old man of Mond. He still believes in Dean Zhou's ability. And since the opening of the Mond Hospital, Dean Zhou has been in the hospital. Familiar with the hospital situation. Let him manage the hospital. Yifeng is very relieved. Headmaster, Dean Zhou did not expect that Yifeng would suddenly make such a decision. President Zhou, don't refuse. Yifeng said with a smile. Okay, thank you Principal for your trust. Dean Zhou didn't say anything, and agreed directly. Everyone has no opinion on this decision. Afterwards, Yifeng said a few more things and then dismissed the meeting. So far, Yifeng's work in Mond Hospital is completely finished. Leaving the conference room, he was going to look at Mond Hospital again and went back to school. Now Mond Hospital is full of patients. But most of them are cancer patients. There are also some patients who come to see other diseases. After all, the name of the Mond Hospital is now out. Many people place great trust in Mond Hospital. This affects not only cancer patients, but other patients also choose to believe it in their hearts. While walking, Yifeng saw a foreign friend. This was the first time he saw foreigners at Mond Hospital. 0. So I walked over curiously. Exactly, now it's the foreign friend's turn to see a doctor. He was treated by a specialist. Experts have seen the patient's condition after reading the patient's examination. It's not a big problem, it's just early gastric cancer. Experts speak to patients. Walter, stomach cancer. After hearing about his illness, the foreign friend immediately panicked. He still knew about cancer. This is not only in the Dragon Kingdom, but in the world it is a disease that makes people panic. I didn't expect that when I went on a trip by myself, I found out such a disease. Doctor, how long can I live? The foreign friend spoke in pouted Chinese. He was ready to accept this desperate fact. It's not a big deal, just take some medicine. Experts said nothing. During this time, he has no idea how many such patients have been cured. Quote question mark question mark question mark quote. Just take some medicine. Foreign friends were stunned. I even feel like I heard it wrong. This is the medication list. You can ask the nurse to give you medication. The expert opened a list to the foreign friend. Looking at the list in his hand, he didn't react at all. This is too easy. Looking for a nurse with cancer. Or is the condition too serious and the treatment has been given up? Go. While the foreign friend was still hesitating, the next patient had already begun to urge him. My friend, it's just an early stage of cancer. It's not a serious illness, so hurry up and find a nurse for medicine. Hearing this sentence, the foreign friends were even more confused. Has the Dragon Kingdom developed to this point? Cancer is not a serious disease. He just stood up and urged his patient to get the case out. Doctor, look, mid-stage gastric cancer can be cured in a few days. The mid-term patient asked with a smile, not worried about his condition at all. The expert glanced at the case. 2 days at most, take the list to get the medicine. After speaking, the expert opened a list to the patient. Okay, thank you doctor. After getting the list, the patient left the consultation room with a smile. 470s. All this was opened in the eyes of foreign friends. He has some doubts about life. Just a moment ago, his cognition has been overturned. In the face of cancer, even in some developed countries, it is impossible to be like this. Yi Feng watched all this from not far away. Seeing the expressions of foreign friends, a smile appeared on his face. The Dragon Kingdom finally has something that can shock foreigners. I have to say, this is a great start. Yi Feng left after not staying long. Although the foreign friend did not believe his eyes, he still followed the doctor's advice. Soon he found a nurse. After seeing the doctor's order, the nurse gave the foreign friend a special cancer medicine. Then it's over. That's right, the treatment is over. Seeing that the nurse has no follow-up actions, foreign friends are very puzzled. When did the treatment start? Foreign friends asked curiously. It's over, you can go and check again tomorrow. The nurse left after speaking. Hearing this sentence, the foreign friend was completely messed up. This is too random. Does this really cure the disease? I really do not understand. It even made him wonder if he had cancer. He then left the Mond hospital. Instead of going back to where he lived, he went to other hospitals. At other hospitals, he checked again. The result is still cancer. I have changed several hospitals in a row, and it's all the same. This made him sure that he really had cancer. The first hospital did not fool itself. But the hospital already knew that he had cancer, why the treatment was so random. This made him very incomprehensible. The next day, he came to Mond Hospital again. After examination, the doctor told him that he had recovered. He really couldn't accept this result. So I went to another hospital to check again. The results all said that he was very healthy and did not have any disease. When he couldn't figure it out, he asked the doctor who examined him yesterday. The doctor is also very curious that the cancer could still be detected yesterday. Why is there nothing today? After the foreign patient told about his visit to Mond Hospital, the doctor understood. It is not uncommon for cancer to be cured in Mond Hospital. After the doctor understood, he explained it to the foreign friend. The foreign friend was completely shocked when he learned of the existence of a special cancer drug. Unexpectedly, this country, which was originally backward in his impression, has developed such a miraculous drug. He could be sure that this was the first time in the world. Knowing this, he spread the news back to his country. There is more than one case of this kind in the country. It is believed that the special cancer medicine will soon spread to the world. Until then, it will be the real great country Yongwei. Mond University conference room. After Yifeng returned to school, he took a day off. Call all leaders for a meeting the next day. Although he was not at school during this time, but with Paimon there, nothing happened at school. But the meeting is still going on. I haven't been in school for a while, so I'll report the situation now. Yifeng asked all the leaders. The first leader to stand up was Director Guo of the Political and Educational Office. Principal, students in our school are very motivated to learn, and teaching is steadily improving. 0 inches. Director Guo reported the work he managed. Immediately afterwards, the leaders of other departments stood up one by one to report. After Yifeng listened, he nodded. It seems that Paimon's campus management ability is really good. Mond University is in a state of improvement every day. Director Xie, have you made a financial summary of the Mond affiliated hospital this time? Yifeng asked Xie Lan. Principal, the financial report is out. This time, Mond Hospital spent 20 million to recruit doctors. In addition, the special cancer drug project, excluding costs, has a revenue of 3.6 billion. Other projects are funded by the principal himself and are not included in Mond's finances. Xie Lan recounted the recent financial situation. Mond Hospital has recruited a lot of experts, and it will definitely cost a lot of money. This is a normal fee. However, Yifeng was very surprised by the income of special cancer drugs. Although the Mond Hospital charges patients for the use of cancer-specific drugs is not high. But profit is certain. It's just that Yifeng didn't expect to make so much profit. Actually, think about it. Although it is not profitable to treat a person, cancer special drugs are now being used all over the country. There will never be more than 3.7% of the cancer medicines produced every day. In this case, profit will naturally come up. Moreover, the University of Mond will continue to be credited in cancer medicines. Unless there is not a single cancer patient in the country. By then, Mond Hospital will surely expand into the international market. Until there are no more cancer patients in the world. Of course, this is impossible. Now there are so many kinds of cold medicines, and cold patients are not the same and have not disappeared. So cancer patients will not disappear. It's just that cancer at that time was no different from a common cold. After listening to the financial report, the content of the meeting is almost finished. Just as Yifeng was about to end the meeting, Director Guo stood up again. Headmaster, I have a proposal that I hope you will consider. Looking at Director Guo's serious expression, Yifeng was a little curious about his proposal. You talk and watch, Yifeng said to Director Guo. Rector, Mond University, with the development of this period, has been qualified to apply to become a first-class university. We have top medical laboratories in China, and scientific research buildings far exceeding those of first-class universities. And our school has recently recruited many excellent teachers, and the quality of teaching has also improved a lot. According to the application conditions, it is enough. Director Guo expressed his thoughts. And give your reasons. Hearing this proposal, all the leaders were surprised. At the same time, it was bright. They hadn't thought about it that way, just because they hadn't seriously thought about Mond's current situation. It didn't take long for Mond to advance to a second-tier university. According to the development of the school, it is impossible for 10 schools to reach the level of first-class universities in 4 or 5 years. The University of Mond has indeed been developing in recent times. All leaders know this. It's just that they didn't really think about it. After Director Guo said it today, they really realized that the University of Mond has developed to this level. Now think about it, it has indeed reached the conditions of a first-class university. As the leaders of the school, they naturally hope that the school will get better and better. And after the school is promoted to a first-class university, it will only benefit them. After Yifeng heard this, he started to think. He really didn't think much about this. In fact, he was too inexperienced to understand these situations. Thinking about it now, it does make some sense. It's time for Mond University to make a breakthrough. How do you feel about this proposal? Yifeng did not express his position first, but asked others for their opinions. Principal, I think what Director Guo said is reasonable. The conditions of our school have indeed been met. I also agree that even if the application fails, it will not affect the school, so why not try it? I feel the same way. Soon, All the leaders have spoken out. All think they should try. The application was unsuccessful, and they were just busy for a while. Once the application is successful, there are unexpected benefits for the teachers and students of Mond University. Especially graduating students. One is a graduation certificate from a first-class university, and the other is a graduation certificate from a second-class university. For them, it is very possible to change the fate of a lifetime. For many companies, the minimum application standard is a first-class university. Now Mond University submits applications for top universities, and when students graduate in June next year, they can still catch up with the school's benefits. Otherwise, you can only wait for the next class of students to graduate. Okay, since everyone has no opinion, our next task is to apply for a first-class university. Director Guo, you are responsible for this matter, and the school will support it if you need it. Yi Feng said his decision. After hearing this, all the leaders were excited. This is definitely a big deal for Mond University. Headmaster, don't worry, I will do my best. Director Guo was very excited and agreed. He knows that now is definitely the best time to apply to Mond University. Having just experienced the cancer special medicine, Mond University was at the height of its fame. It's sure to give a high-level look at Mond University. The matter was decided, and the meeting broke up. After Yi Feng left, Director Guo took several leaders to discuss the application. For this matter, Yi Feng did not intend to take care of it himself. After all, he knew nothing about the application process. After leaving the conference room, Yi Feng returned to his office. He had just returned to the door of the office, and 3 students were already waiting for him. Hey principal, after seeing Yi Feng, the 3 students shouted. Do you have anything to do with me? Yi Feng asked the 3 students suspiciously. The students nodded and took out a document. Yi Feng glanced at the cover of the document and took it. Come in and talk. After speaking, Yi Feng walked into the office with the documents. 3 students followed behind. Entering the office, Yi Feng sat in his chair and began to read the documents seriously. This is an application document. Students need to apply some materials for a study. Of course, these materials are not simple. Otherwise, he would not have applied to Yi Feng. After reading it, Yi Feng looked at the 3 students. What school do you go to? Yi Feng asked the 3 students. We are all students from the School of Information Engineering. My name is Ji Yu Kai. Ji Yu Kai introduced himself. Students from the School of Information Engineering. Are you going to apply for 10,000 quantum chips this time? Yi Feng asked the 3 students. Yes. Ji Yu Kai didn't have the slightest guilty conscience, and answered very definitely. Can you tell me what you're going to use it for? Yi Feng asked 470. Principal, the 3 of us are just representatives. In fact, there is a team of 100 people behind us. Our team has been established since the sophomore year. The purpose of its establishment is to be able to develop a large-scale intelligent model, and it has been 2 years now. In the past 2 years, we have completed most of the work, and the parameter scale has reached 500 billion, but now there is a problem. Our equipment is not up to the mark, it simply doesn't work. So we need to apply for 10,000 quantum chips to build a supercomputer. Ji Yu Kai explained everything in detail. After listening, Yi Feng was a little surprised. I didn't expect that this group of students played so much. Yi Feng still understands the intelligent model. To put it bluntly, it is the predecessor of artificial intelligence. When the intelligent model reaches a certain scale, artificial intelligence that can learn autonomously will be born. In fact, Paimon is also here. However, Paimon is already a fairly mature artificial intelligence. Smart scale parameters have reached an unimaginable level. 100 students took 2 years to reach 500 billion parameters, which shows that they have done a lot of hard work. Knowing this, Yi Feng became curious about the 100-person student team. The technology they studied is not so easy to implement. Not only need to spend a lot of energy to build intelligent models, but also need powerful equipment for computing support. Ordinary computers can't do the calculations at all. Not even a normal supercomputer can do it. To run perfectly, unless it is the world's top supercomputer. Supercomputer, known as the heavy weapon of the country. Supercomputing belongs to the strategic high-tech field. It is easy to meet the requirements of supercomputers, but it is very difficult to develop the world's top supercomputers. It can be seen from the 10,000 quantum chips that the students applied for. If it is the former Mond University, their dreams are not half possible to realize. Because the school simply can't do what they want. But it's different now. Mond University already has strength. If you are given materials, are you really confident that you can study it? Yi Feng asked Ji Yukai. We're not very sure, but we want to try. When Ji Yukai said these words, his face was very firm. This is the first time they have studied the project, and they cannot guarantee what the result will be. But if they don't even have the courage to try, they're a complete failure. So they chose to come to the principal. It is an effort for a dream. Okay, I agree to your application. Yi Feng would not be frightened by 10,000 quantum chips. Besides, Mond University is the major shareholder of quantum chips. These chips are still available. If the students can study successfully, Yi Feng doesn't care at all. Same. Agreed. Ji Yukai didn't react when he heard Yi Feng's decision. Before coming, they had already decided. Once unsuccessful, say it several times. In order to be able to realize the dream, it does not matter how many times you run. Unexpectedly, the principal agreed so easily. This took them by surprise. You know, the value of 10,000 quantum chips is not low. This is not the same as applying for 10,000 yuan. Chip production will take a while, you may have to wait a few days, and I will let you know when the time comes. Yi Feng said to the 3 students. It's okay, we can wait. Ji Yukai said quickly. Don't say wait a few days. They are willing to wait a few months. Your project, the school fully supports and looks forward to your dreams blooming. Yi Feng said seriously. Thank you principal for your support. The 3 of Ji Yukai said gratefully. With the words of the principal, they felt more confident in their hearts. It goes without saying that thanks, let me see your performance. Yi Feng said with a smile. After hearing this, the 3 of Ji Yukai nodded seriously. Then, the 3 students left. When the 3 of Ji Yukai returned to the School of Information Engineering, the entire team was waiting for them. Whether the 3 people's applications can be successful or not will decide whether their project should continue. It even decides whether the team still exists or not. They chose to set up this team in the first place because of this project. The project cannot go on, and the team has no need to continue. Seeing the 3 people entering the classroom, everyone immediately surrounded them. Captain, what's the matter, does the principal agree? Everyone looked at Ji Yukai expectantly. All hope is in them. Ji Yukai smiled and didn't answer directly. Captain, don't pretend to be mysterious. What happened? The players couldn't wait. Okay, you all listen to me. Our application, the principal has agreed, and is ready to fully support our project. Ji Yukai repeated what Yi Feng said. Real, great. Our dream has finally come true. All were very excited. They all knew in their hearts that with the words of the principal, they didn't have to worry about anything at all. When the students were excited, Yi Feng had already left the school. The place he went to was a new company started by Mond and Waihua. This time I went for these 10,000 quantum chips. Now the quantum chips produced by the new company are all stripped down. Performance can be said to be greatly reduced. It is definitely a top chip used in mobile phones. But in some really advanced equipment, it seems a little insufficient. So Yi Feng decided to go there by himself. At noon, Yi Feng rushed to the new company. It happened that Ren Junfei was in the company. Hearing Yi Feng coming, Ren Junfei immediately put down his work and came out. Principal Yi, long time no see, Mond's actions are not small recently. Dong Ren is really polite. The company relies on you to support me. I'm really ashamed. After the 2 met, there was a wave of business compliments. Then, Ren Junfei took Yi Feng to the office. Principal Yi, you definitely won't come to the company simply to have a look. Ren Junfei has been working hard for many years. People are still pretty accurate. Yi Feng didn't even come when the new company opened. You know, he is a major shareholder. There must be something wrong now. It seems that I can't hide from Dong Ren. I am here because the school needs a batch of quantum chips. Yi Feng stated his purpose. Just need the chip, nothing else. Ren Junfei was a little puzzled. This doesn't look like Yi Feng's character. Yes, only one batch of chips is needed, about 10,000 yuan. Yi Feng said with a light smile. Principal Yi, just need a chip, you don't have to run, just make a phone call. I sent people directly to school. Ren Junfei didn't care about the amount Yi Feng said. It is still very easy to produce 10,000 chips. Now the company's chip output is 300,000 pieces per day. After Yi Feng streamlined the quantum chip, it was much simpler to produce. Ren Dong, what I need is not the chips produced now, but some changes. Look at this drawing first. After speaking, Yi Feng took out the prepared drawings. Ren Junfei took it and looked carefully. After reading the drawings, shock appeared on his face. Principal Yi, this is Chuang. Ren Junfei was very familiar with this drawing. Because it is not much different from the chips produced now. Just made some changes. These are the changes that make the chip completely different. Although Ren Junfei does not know what kind of performance these new chips can achieve. But he knew in his heart that he would definitely improve a lot. Even more than the quantum chip seen for the first time. What is now produced is a stripped-down version of quantum chips. Much worse than the chips developed by the students he met for the first time. Moreover, Yi Feng actually changed the chip again, and the performance improved again. This made Ren Junfei admire Yi Feng very much. He had a feeling that Yi Feng still hadn't come up with the most powerful chip. Seeing Ren Junfei's expression, Yi Feng just smiled. Ren Dong, this kind of chip should be able to be produced. If you can arrange it right away. Ren Junfei was even more anxious than Yi Feng. He can't wait to see how far this chip can go. If they know the performance of the chip, they can develop more advanced technology based on the chip. For many technologies, the chip is the core. Breakthroughs in chip technology can bring many chain reactions. 473 is also a breakthrough in technology. This is also why after the technical blockade is implemented abroad, it will have such a big impact on the country. Now, Ren Junfei sees hope beyond the world in Yi Feng. After speaking, Ren Junfei brought Yi Feng to the company's research room. Such chips cannot be produced with ordinary equipment. The equipment in the research room is imported from abroad by Ren Junfei. Now it's finally time to make a real difference. Coming to the research room, Yi Feng saw two familiar people. It was the two students of Mond University, Yan Hao and Cao Hongyuan. Headmaster, here you are. After seeing Yi Feng, the two students quickly came to say hello. Yi Feng smiled and nodded to the two of them. Ren Dong, these two students didn't cause you any trouble. Yi Feng said to Ren Junfei. What's the trouble with that? I am planning to discuss this matter with Principal Yi, whether they can come to our company after graduation. These two students are the most talented I have ever met. Ren Junfei said with a smile. He has been paying attention to these two students of Mond for a long time. Since entering the company, in addition to the necessary work, the rest of the time is learning. The technicians of the entire company were almost consulted by them. And they are very talented, and they do a lot of inferences. If there are such students to join the company, it will definitely bring huge benefits to the company. Of course, Yi Feng's consent is required even for digging. Students have their own choices, and the school does not interfere with students' employment. Yi Feng did not give a positive answer. Instead, the choice is left to the students themselves. Hearing this answer, Ren Junfei smiled and did not speak. Then, he called the technical director. Soon, a man in his 40s ran over. The men wear thick glasses and look very cultured. Chairman, are you looking for me? Asked the technical director. You now pull out a group of researchers to produce this chip first. After speaking, he took out the blueprint that Yi Feng brought. New chip. The technical director was a little puzzled. Is the company researching new technology again? He took the drawing and looked at it again. After reading it, his eyes lit up. Ren Junfei could see the difference. As the technical director, of course he saw it more thoroughly. I'll pull out a group of people right now and start making them right away. After speaking, the technical director left excitedly. Seeing such excellent technology, he was more excited than Ren Junfei. It can be seen from this that this is also a technical maniac. It didn't take long for the technical director to find a group of people over. Then start arranging the work according to what is on the drawing. Some prepare materials, some adjust equipment. Because the change is made on the basis of the original chip, it is not too troublesome to adjust. Soon, the technical team began to manufacture. Ren Junfei and Yifeng looked outside through the glass window. Seeing that the entire team was busy in an orderly manner, Yifeng couldn't help nodding his head. This is an excellent team. Before long, with the efforts of the entire team, a new type of chip was produced. Because this is produced according to the drawings, there is no prediction for the performance of the chip. So after production, the technical director immediately tested the chip. Everyone gathered around the test equipment, wanting to see what was going on. Ren Junfei and Yifeng also walked in. After a while, the test results came out. Seeing the performance of all aspects of the chip, everyone was shocked. My God, is this the performance of the chip? It's incredible, that team designed it. It's too good, we can't really compare with them. The technicians discussed in surprise. The technical director quickly reported the data to Ren Junfei. Chairman, the performance of this chip is 100 times stronger than the full version of the quantum chip, too strong. The technical director became more and more excited. This is definitely another technological breakthrough. After Ren Junfei heard this, he looked at Yifeng in shock. Although he knew that this new type of chip was not simple, he did not expect it to be so strong. It has to be said that Yifeng once again brought him a surprise. Yifeng didn't feel much after seeing the test data. Just nodded in satisfaction. The numbers weren't much different from what he predicted. The chip he prepared for student research. Intelligent model research requires high equipment. Although the full version of the quantum chip can also be used, but only can be used. Yifeng is not so casual. Now that you have researched, use the best one. So this upgraded version of the quantum chip was designed. After reading the data, Ren Junfei and Yifeng left the laboratory together. The two returned to the office. Principal Yi, you once again gave me a huge surprise. Ren Junfei said to Yifeng. Yifeng smiled. Ren Dong, the problem of chip production is left to you. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.